Hello, friends. Welcome to the Virtual Stranger Show. Roots, buddy, uh, we're going to have to get a new setup, man. As I sit here and I watch your stream through the Discord, which we use to produce the show, I lament the fact that I can't hear the awesome song that goes with all of those clips we just watched.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know exactly how we can hear it. I mean, I could set it to monitor. I could probably figure a way to where we could hear it. But it is really good though. I'll tell you what. And I wanted to shout out GT. I saw you in Zim stream. I don't know if you saw me shout you out or call to you before you took off, but Zim Talk, man. I was really enjoying his. He's doing some Skyrim VR. He's got 200 mods in there, Wes, and it's like the Skyrim that we always wanted, and it made me want to go in there and actually play this damn game. It looked phenomenal, and I think I'm gonna do it.
Skyrim.
Yeah,
Skyrim coming to a quest near you, Roots. Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe. Here's the thing, and I've been thinking about this because this past week the application Space Warp actually went live for the Oculus Quest, and this is something that we're only going to see the effects of over time because this is something that must be implemented on the developer side, and it's not as easy as flipping a switch. You have to develop for it. But with that said, a lot of people are speculating that the reason that we're getting Medal of Honor on Quest is because of this application Space Warp. And if
Mm.
you look at the PCVR version of Medal of Honor, you'll notice that the recommended specifications are higher than some of VR's most beautiful games. For example, Half-Life Alyx does not have as high a recommended spec as of Medal of Honor. I don't even think that like Stormland or Asgard's Wrath have as high a recommended specification as Medal of Honor. So basically, what that means is if they can bring Medal of Honor on the Quest 2, they can pretty much bring any game from PC over on the Quest 2. So, Roots, I ask you, what do you want? What do you want to see on your Quest 2? Is it
Mm.
Skyrim? Edge of Nowhere, maybe?
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, Edge of Nowhere would be amazing. Any of the games. There's so many games, man. I would. This is gonna sound weird. And because it's not even, I don't even know what, it's not even intensive, as far as graphically, but I'd love to see Eye of the Temple on, on Quest 2, even though that's just because I don't think it still has enough love for what that developer's done. Like, I want every Quest person to have that game, because it's so amazing.
Well, we talked about how the Oculus Quest would be an ideal situation, wireless standalone VR for unlimited room scale. Um, one of the games we're featuring this week actually uses similar technology and has been in development for a similar length of time, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 3, 4 years instead of the 5.
Hmm.
But it's very much based upon the same kind of concept and is going for the same thing, even if the genre itself is very different. So, going to be an interesting first look that we take at that game here in just a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Gamertag says he asked about After the Fall and the Space Warp. Apparently, during development, it wasn't available. So it's possible Medal of Honor isn't using it, but he can ask. So yeah, I definitely would love to know the answer to that question, GT, because if it isn't, it's phenomenal. They're bringing this game anyway, right? And I would imagine every game. There is no game that's not going to come to Quest 2 eventually, even if you didn't see this Space Warp thing. But it is amazing to see the software side of it kind of evolving in the
Well, what,
headsets.
one of the prerequisites for using the Space Warp is that uh, the Oculus version of your game has to be OpenXR,
Oh,
which they only just switched to a month, 6 weeks ago. Uh, they completely changed up their standards. So if Vertigo Games wasn't in the loop ahead of time on that, then it would make sense that they haven't implemented it yet. But it's still possible that Respawn might have, right? Because we know that Oculus was involved in funding the development of Medal of Honor, and I'm pretty sure they published it, did they not?
I believe so. Yeah. So
Yeah.
uh, however it comes out, as long as it plays well, I'm excited for it. And it's
And
gonna
I
be
guess that's
cheaper.
the bottom line. What we were saying really, it holds true either way. Even if Medal of Honor doesn't use the space warp, it's still it's still like a port of this highly demanding PCVR game. And if that game can come to Quest 2, then any game can come to Quest 2. So I'm, we've been sitting here for a year wondering what Sanzaru's up to. They might have been working on Asgard's Wrath this whole time, man. Working on getting it on Quest.
That's true. Yeah, we always assume it's a new title, not a port, right? Port to the biggest system, the one that's just blowing out the door. I think it's a very, very good possibility. Got VR Leg says scared for GTA VR after trilogy debacle. And I've been following this whole thing. I bought it. I returned it on PlayStation. But I think what you were saying, Wes, is absolutely true. You kind of reined in supreme logic for me in the Discords, just basically saying that one, it's a different company. It's obviously the ones that did LA Noire. It's not Grover Street, which is a fucking nightmare port. I don't even know what the hell happened, dude. But what you said is very true, that it's such a debacle. It's so bad that it has to be gotten the attention of Oculus. It got the attention of Rockstar. And Rockstar has been very lazy as far as just watching over their projects that are under their umbrella of Rockstar. And I don't think that's going to happen with GTA. I think, if anything, San Andreas is going to end up being even better because of this, because they're really going to fine tune it. And if it's not, it's going to be fucked. Because if somehow they took this port that, for whatever reason, Grover Street is taken and just ported it over into flat from a mobile version, I can only imagine the weirdness that would come around VR on top of everything else. So I would say that the chances are very minimal that happens, because that would be really bad. So
Yeah. There's a lot riding on it, and that's not lost on Meta. They know that. I don't think that it'll make it to market until it's ready. And yeah, this is a pretty big black eye for Rockstar Games, and trust me, this is their baby. This is their franchise. This is the most valuable entertainment franchise in the world. It's more valuable than Star Wars. I mean, you name it. Grand Theft Auto is the highest grossing, most valuable property in entertainment, and I'm sure that they're not going to take this lying down, and anything else that that has that name attached to it is going to follow the quality standards that everyone has come to expect up until this point. So yeah, I think that in a weird way that this is kind of a good thing for the prospects of Grand Theft Auto VR, whether it be San Andreas or GTA 5 on PlayStation or whatever else might be coming down the road.
yeah, GTA 4, completely forgot about that one, man. There's so many versions out there. And the good news, if you want the flat version, there already work modders. That's how amazing PC is, outside of VR and in VR. They're already working on mods. They've already got mods that they're creating to fix all the glitches that they fucked up on this thing. And so I'll probably rebuy the flat version on PC, and because I don't have faith that they're gonna fix all these bugs on the other version, because all the other versions of GTA that have involved Grover Street did not get fixed. So yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a good thing. I think San Andreas is going to be amazing. I can't wait to play it. And but I had a little bit of a heart stop for a second there. Exactly what VR Legs. I thought, oh my god, like what does this mean for our game? But I think we're good.
I think we're good as well. Loads of people filling out the chat. Thank you, friends, for coming by and hanging out with us, and loads to talk about today, man. I can't wait to dive into some of these subjects. So why don't we kick the show off the way we always do by saying hello to our friends in chat. Spry Guy is in the house. What's up? Glad to see that you're feeling better, friend. Thanks for joining us. Mash Daddy Cool is in the chat as always, as is Radio Runt, coming to us live from Idaho. Mepper in the house, as is Space Dennison. Diz the Game Cat says, will be interesting to see if there are more large file size games coming to Quest 2. I would almost guarantee that. And it really makes you curious about what's going on at Ubisoft, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it, Roots?
Yeah, absolutely. We're close, man. I mean, there's got to be stuff dropping soon, man, or at least we have to hear some news soon. So
Yeah, by April for sure. We'll hear during that next Oculus gaming showcase. We'll hear more on at least one of those two titles that we know to be in the development from Ubisoft. Uh, got VR Legs is with us, as is Scion. We knew Scion would come. I put whenever we want Scion to show up, you just got to put into the radius on the title line, and he'll be here.
I'll
So
tell you what, that trailer makes me want to be there into the radius. It looks fucking good.
yeah, it looks great, man. Looks great. One of our featured stories today we're going to get into here in a few minutes. Onakazi is here. What's up, buddy? As is Lee VR. Simplex coming to us, joining us from Poland. Thank you, Simplex. Hack is in the house. What's up, Hack? Uh, GT, we already said hello to GT. Thanks for hanging out, friend. Thanks for staying up, buddy. I know you're tired. GT's been tired for like a week at least. Like that guy's burning the candle at both ends. So thank you
Yeah,
for everything you're doing, GT.
for real.
Berber Cat is hanging out with us today. He says good evening. Well, good evening to you, Berber Cat. Danny Scaling is in the chat. What's up, guys? Happy to be able to catch the stream tonight. Well, we're happy to
Yeah.
have you, friend. Dark Angel, what's up? Uh, Terry Church, hello, hello. A pretty good little crew we got going on here. Traveling Man 3775, Ion the Icon. Lots of people want to talk about what's going down this week. Sammy D OFG is in the house as well. So why don't we get down to it, Roots, and why don't we jump in to a few headlines here? And the headlines took a little bit of a different turn this week. Over the last month to 6 weeks or so, we've had a pretty steadily heavy dose of hardware news slash metaverse news uh, coming to us from the land of VR. And this week, no different, but it's of a slightly different favor. I would certainly say that this is metaverse news, uh, but maybe not exactly the VR news that we're used to. So let's kick it off with this first headline. Google's new labs team brings AR VR, Project Starline, and Area 120 under a single roof. So, all this talk lately, Roots, about the metaverse and all the companies coming together to build it. You can bet your ass that Google's going to be a part of that. And they have now opened up a new division and brought a few of their smaller divisions under the control of one person. And this person, Roots, just happens to be the same person who has been the head of their VR division for many years now. He was one of the people that oversaw the launch of Daydream, and they're doing VR and they're doing so much more. So this is another one of those signs of the times that VR is the next big thing once again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, expect to start. Well, I guess we did start seeing Microsoft kind of starting to come out, and they're, all the big companies are starting to come back around from their distancing from VR, right? Which seems like so long ago, and it was only a couple years, man. It's crazy how fast things are moving.
Have you seen this Project Starline that Google's been working on?
I have not actually.
I put a link to a video in the show notes for those of you contribute on Patreon. There's a lot of cool extras in the show notes this week, so you guys want to be sure that you check that out. But it's a light field display, man. It's basically, I mean, it sets up like a flat panel, screen display, but it's full 3D, no glasses, and it's like retina resolution. Like this thing, the way that they're selling it, and I don't have specific specs on it, but the way they're selling it is like there's someone in the room with you on the other side of this little piece of glass,
Mm.
which is amazing. It kind of opens your mind up a little bit about some of the many technologies that are going to allow us to interact in the metaverse. Not only things that you wear on your face, but new display technology as we move into the next few years.
That's crazy. I don't know if I want somebody in my room with me like that. That's kind of creepy. Um, how crazy, man! It just seems like things are just taking off so fast, almost too fast. But it's exciting for sure.
Tis the nature of technology, friend.
Yep.
And I want a game on one of those things, man. I want a light field display to play games on.
That would be really badass, right? Especially if it,
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes you. I'd even just having, I mean, it almost would look like I guess it's everything that we've seen in these movies, like Back to the Future or whatever, where it looks like, you know, you're looking out a window, even though it's a screen. That's crazy.
Our friend Evie Man versus Gas and Decepticon joining us. What's up, friends? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, man. This is something not specifically light field displays, but I've always kind of had this interest in display technology since I became a VR enthusiast. And there's all sorts of different technologies that are in development right now, from holograms to different types of glasses free 3D. It's really going to be interesting over the next few years to see what catches on from a consumer standpoint versus what doesn't. The good news is that I think VR's got a pretty good head start on all of these other technologies. So even if one of them does turn out to be the thing that strikes the death knell for VR, it's probably at least a decade down the road, and we're going to have a good run before we get to that. And then when we do get to that, it'll probably be something better than VR, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Onakazi says, yeah, right. Oh, wait, he didn't say that, but he did say, by the way, I'm in a more pessimistic mood than normal. And Dark Angel says, hope being here in a chat will lighten the mood, Onakazi. We're here to lighten your mood, bro. Like, tell us why you're pessimistic. This world is so perfectly awesome. No pessimism needed, right?
Yeah, he's probably just watched the news for about 5 minutes.
He
Right?
made the mistake of reading a couple articles before he came to the show, and he's like, fuck this, man. Everything's fucked.
He went on Twitter. That's what it was. Oh, by the way, guys, how would you like to win a copy of In Death Unchained? I
Oh my
know
god.
that there are quite a few out there that would like to do so because you entered our comments drawing last week. Well, there's another copy up for grabs on the very new Virtual Strangers Twitter account. Um, there's a link. It's the very first link in the description down below. All you got to do is follow, like, retweet, and you will be entered in for a drawing that we're going to draw this Wednesday. I don't think one person has entered this thing yet,
Ooh.
so your chances are pretty good. And Roots, we got to get some people on this social media thing. People have been begging me for a Virtual Strangers Twitter for a year now, and then like I've got 20 followers or something like
Like,
that.
screw it, dude. Well, that was old news, you know. You didn't jump on it quick enough, I guess. I don't know. It's
I
funny.
guess.
It's funny because you said there's at least, I don't know, 20 people probably that didn't win, that went put in for their name, unless they bought the game since we did the drawing a couple days ago or last week. They don't have it. So the easiest way would just go to, unless you don't want to, maybe you hate Twitter, or maybe you were kidding when you said you wanted to help spread the best kept secret on YouTube. But no, I think it's a good idea. Free game's a free game, right?
Audio listeners, here's your chance. This is your giveaway. Get in there, follow, like, retweet, do whatever it is they do. Just click the things, leave a comment, and we're going to give away a game in just a few days. So you guys get on there, get your free game, or I'll give it to my sister.
I bet she would love to have it too.
You damn right. You guys better get it.
Hey, oh, is there a
Uh,
typo on our Twitter handle? Simplex says.
well, there's not. There is, but there's not. So our Twitter handle is at VR Strangers, right? Instead of virtual, it says VR Strangers. And the reason why is because Twitter puts a character limit of 15 characters, and ours was one too many, too long to get in there.
Uh,
So rather than be Virtual Stranger or V Strangers, I made it VR Strangers. So it kind of fits. And I mean, it has our name on there. It says Virtual Strangers. Everyone knows who it is, bro.
well, if they
I
search
thought
VR, it's going to come up, right?
I thought it was clever.
Yeah, well, it was clever, except for someone like Simplex, who actually probably I'm the same way, by the way. Is very I'm very spelling's important to me. I guess that's lame in 2021. You know, spell it however you want. Fuck it, man. You know, you can just make whatever you want up. But for whatever reason, my mind says no, that's not spelled correctly, and I'll be almost neurotic about it, and it's almost annoying.
Yeah, Simplex is auditor by nature. So if
Hmm.
something if it isn't correct, it's a mistake. You
Well,
know what I mean?
that's true.
Simplex says, I thought someone squatted you. No, no, man. I just had to I had to work with what was given to me, and 15 characters was the limit, and we did our best with
You
it.
know what you could have done is VR, or you could have done virtual stranger and just left out the STRNGERS.
Yeah, I put a few of them up there, different ones, and looked at them, and this was the one I felt, looked and flowed the best. So
Yeah,
went
yeah,
with it.
I agree. I think just the fact that it says VR is good. You know, that's gonna get
Yeah.
people, if they just type that into Twitter, it's gonna come up.
Yep. So you guys get on there and follow, retweet, like, and get your free game. Again, linked in the description at the very top. Uh, and one more in the bag. Christmas gifts we're giving away, Roots.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing Christmas gifts. Speaking of Christmas gifts, because we didn't do the killer deals, Contractors is on sale for $12 right now. I just know because of my friend Rekamu whispered me and was trying to ask which FPS game he should get, and I told him Contractors or Pavlov, and then he said, "Well, if this helps, Contractors is on sale for $12. Pavlov is not on sale, and it's 25." I said, "Fuck, dude." Yeah, I'm already leaning towards Contractors anyway. For $12, that's a steal. And Scion VR says it was amazing in there. Actually, everybody in the Discord was saying how awesome it was, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. Sion in the chat says, "Are you guys mentioning contractors today?" Well, we are now, Sion. Thank you for reminding us. Big update just came to contractors, right? And supposedly, big upgrades in almost every facet. A near perfect update, near perfect, unless you're playing on Oculus Quest. There is a bug right now with some players randomly dropping out of matches if you're playing on Quest, but the developers are well aware of it and actively working to correct that.
yep, absolutely. So, get it, $12. It's a steal on Steam. And I think it's on sale till the 21st, I believe. So, if I'm
Are the
remembering
PC
correctly.
guys are the PC guys happier with how the game looks now? I know they were kind of upset when they first added Quest support with the graphics being changed a little
That's a
bit.
good question.
I think it came back in the other direction a little bit with this update. I think they've improved the looks of the game a little bit.
Yeah. Well, my thing is I just wanted the cool maps. That's what it's all about for me is feeling like I'm going into Nuketown, right? It's not as cool to go into just some random map, for me anyway.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, if you're going to be playing these competitive type games, it helps to be comfortable with your surroundings, right? You want to be able to act off of instinct instead of wondering where the hell you're at.
Yeah, that's very true, man. And I've spent so much time in Nuketown. I know where all the spots are to hit people from or not get hit. So
Right, and you're in the game, right? It's VR. It's not like playing on a flat screen. You're literally in this place, so you want to be familiar with your surroundings.
yeah, I climbed through the window and I'm now in the VR on the actual game. Scion says it's taken a step in the right direction. That's good to know for sure.
And Tinkle Baby, Sprinkle Baby agrees. Says I have a Quest 1 and Contractors looks so much better and smoother. Unfortunately, I can't play the new 8 versus 8.
Oh wow, I wonder why that is. Is it just is it something that's not available for the Quest one or something?
Probably.
Or?
No, that's probably it. It's probably a hardware limitation.
Yep.
What's up, Techno Glitch? How's it going, brother? Um, let's go ahead and hit this next headline. Qualcomm is preparing developers for the coming wave of smartphone tethered AR glasses. So here we are again, Roots. Starting to see another, we say VR is the next big thing again. We're starting to see all this different monetary support from the corporate world for different VR technologies. Well, we're seeing now that AR not far behind. We're starting to see a new wave of support for AR devices being drummed up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mash is checking one out, right? The flow. This is the thing. I think it's AR, right? Or is that more? That's kind of in between. The thing about this is, not we know we've talked to people. Not everybody wants to go into VR. Never. Not everybody wants to put a big headset on their face. But everybody consumes on some level or another entertainment, especially TV, Netflix, whatever it is. If you can give them a good pair of glasses that will give them a much superior experience, but make them feel like they're just still sitting normal in their living room. This is it, right? We grew up in 3D movies with shitty ass paper ones, blue and red, that kind of worked a little bit. Can you imagine if we had this technology where you could go see a movie and it's 3D, but you're required to bring in your own pair of AR glasses, or whatever it is? There's just so many possibilities. I think it's the future in this respect is a lot more cool than I used to think. So
Yeah. There's certainly going to be some very cool applications for it. The technology as a whole probably has a lot more versatility with regards to practical application than even VR does. While VR obviously is always going to be a superior gaming platform, AR is going to be able to game and do so much more because it's going to allow you to be connected to the real world while you're inside. So, not surprising that people have been so bullish on this technology from day one. And you know who else is? And this is not a my mom cue, by the way.
who?
You know who else is excited about AR Roots? This leads into our next headline: Resolution Games. They have expanded to focus more on development of AR games. So these are our friends here, the our friends that brought us awesome games like Angry Birds, Isle of Pigs, and more recently Demio. Um, they came out this past week in a big way and basically uh, started a whole new division within their company to focus on AR gaming applications. It's important to make that distinction that Resolution Games is a gaming company, but they're making AR games now too, on top of the already awesome VR games that they're making.
That's cool, man. Can you imagine Angry Birds in your living room where you're shooting them across your living room? You know what I mean?
Or Demio,
Or
Demio on
Demio?
your kitchen table, man.
Yeah, all of that stuff. And again, it's going to be about the comfort factor and the ease of use, that type of stuff, and bringing in your environment into that. I don't know. This is one thing that people have right when they talk about VR in some respect. It's isolating, you know. Most things. I mean, if you're in the room with the people, most people aren't in the headset with you. They don't see what you see. They could see it on TV. It's just not the same. But if you're all seeing the same thing, but you're still in the same room, it like takes all that away, and you're still seeing everything, man. You're seeing everything else going on as well, facial expressions, which I know will come with VR as well. But this could be a completely different side of gaming, of a Demio type of game, which would be so cool, right? Watching the stuff unfold right in front of you in your living room. So I think it's
Yeah, well,
cool.
that's the thing. When we get into the day when people have avatars that actually look like them, you could potentially go into your kitchen or your living room, sit around a table, and see your friends sitting in the room with you, even though they're not actually there. Talk to them and play a game with them. And I mean, that day isn't, in relative terms, all that far away. And, this is proof positive. Resolution Games getting started on that now, and that the previous headline that we were talking about with Qualcomm, um, they're about to launch a new platform early next year, an AR platform that has all of these different technical things that AR would need to be good. It's already baked in to the platform. The spatial awareness and all the different stuff that VR's had for a little while now. AR is about to have. So it's no coincidence that Tommy Palm and his group there at Resolution Games are on top of this. That guy's kind of always been a front runner with regards to gaming tech, and if he's all in on AR, then that just tells me that AR is going to be something.
Yeah, I want to think about this too for someone like Mash or anybody that works, does work on their computer for, I mean, I'm out doing my shit. I'm killing bugs all day. I don't, my computer's my phone. But having this headset on and maybe you've got one monitor, but now you have three monitors inside the AR, and you've got one, with your favorite podcast, Virtual Strangers, going on the side. And it's just cool. I just think the future in this respect is like I said, a lot cooler than I used to give credit for, or at least really didn't foresee it coming that soon. But we're closer than I thought.
My sister joining us in chat. Hello, Ashley. Thanks for coming by. Evie Man versus Gas says, I think that VR with AR is going to be the big jump. And I agree with that. I've kind of always maintained that by the time that AR gets good enough to to be practical and something that people want, that it will be a feature in a multi-functional headset that can do AR, that can do VR, and so on and so forth. We've already seen with Vive Flow and with the upcoming Project Cambria that VR headsets are about to shrink in a big way. And even though Vive Flow doesn't track controllers and doesn't have controllers, it is a 6 degrees of freedom headset. So I mean, it's almost a full fledged VR gaming headset, and I don't think that we're too far off from seeing headsets that have that small form factor, that have high resolution color pass through. Um, I think Cambria is going to be. I'm more excited for Cambria now than I was when they announced it. When I think about all of these different social things that I didn't think that I cared about, and then when I think about the practical application of them and what they could mean in gaming, um, it's actually cooler than I thought it was. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, like for me, the biggest takeaway is things are moving way faster than I would have thought they were a couple of years ago. It's I don't know if the AI, if it's the AI. I think a lot of it is AI. I think it's pushing us technologically as a whole, collectively, worldwide faster, and it's picking up pace every day. It's crazy.
You think Resolution Games is making AR games is crazy? How about Schell Games, Roots? Schell Games is making a VR game you play in a car.
Wow.
That's right, a VR game that you play in a car. And it's not just a game that you play in a car. We're not talking about taking your Quest out to your car. They're developing games on a platform that is made to be played in the car. There is a car VR gaming platform, and Schell Games has made a game for that platform
Hmm.
called Cloud Breakers. And I saw this thing, man, and listened to them talk about it, and this seems cool.
So is it like a touristy thing where you get in this car and you go on like you would go down to a shop like a mall and you do an experience, but it's in a car, correct? I'm assuming that's what it is. I didn't have a chance to read the
I
story.
think that I think that some of the cars in the very near future, like some of the high end cars, like Teslas, for example, are going to have this platform built into it, or an optional. We'll say that it'll be optional, something that you can buy into. And the concept behind these games that Shell Games and others are making for this is um, it uses the real time positioning data from your car in conjunction with GPS data and map data, so they know where you're going, they know the direction, every turn the road's going to make, and the game is going to it's going to be procedurally generated to fit the movements that you're going to be making in real life. So basically, what that's going to do is it is going to eliminate motion sickness
Hmm.
altogether, because the movements, the centripetal forces that you feel pulling your body in real life are going to match what's going on in the game. And you would think that this is something that's in a very early prototyping stage, but if you click that story there and look at some of the video, that this is actually pretty close to it's a pretty polished product, and apparently it works very well. And the cool thing about it is it's a third person game. Like, it's not a first person game. Your character is on screen, but your camera follows it, and there are like these little like action lines on screen that correspond with your real life movements in the car. um, it's crazy, man. It's crazy tech, and I think this is one of the more surprising stories I've read for quite some time, actually.
Are you suggesting I drive down the street playing this game in VR? With
Not for the driver.
okay,
They
for
were pretty
very
they were pretty
specific.
explicit. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
they were.
leading. I mean, well, I guess if you can't see the car, could they bring the other vehicles into the game as well? I want to play this game and think it's real, and have the headset on. That's, I mean, it's weird, right? But I guess it's not that weird that it's fully fleshed out, because there's been iterations of this at theme parks, right? Where you put it at someone's, you put a headset on and you're on the roller coaster. I saw one of this has been a year or two ago where it was water park, and you were going down the slide on these tubes, but you had a headset on, which was waterproof, which I thought was crazy. So it's super cool because it's going to give you those environments, even just a roller coaster, man. Think about that. You could pick the Rush of Blood one, and your theme park roller coaster has now got clowns trying to kill you and shit. Talk about heart attacks on a roller coaster. I think it's really cool.
Dude, I'd be all for road trips if I could fucking play VR all the way there. Like Rush of Blood for an 8 hour trip. I'd be all for it.
So what would you think? Because that's a good point, especially from a kid's standpoint. And if you don't have kids and you haven't taken a road trip, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But for me, when my kids were little, it was DVDs. We had a DVD player in the car, and you just put it in. They got sucked into the movie. They stopped bitching. They stopped complaining. They stopped saying, fighting, all that stuff. So here it is, you're going on a long road trip for 10 hours, 12 hours. As a kid, I would imagine that would be amazing. But what would be the game that you could play, Wes? You know what I mean? It's got to be more than me just driving down across the country,
That'd be funny if they put like Desert Bus into it. So like literally the game is more boring than watching the actual real life. Which by the way, I like traveling. I enjoy just, just moving through the country. We live in a beautiful land, or at least it was back when I traveled. Um, but yeah, it would be funny if they just like poured a Desert Bus straight into the thing and made a super hyper realistic version of Desert Bus for this literally mobile VR platform.
Yeah, that would be funny as hell. EV Man versus Gas. CS says SeaWorld had it on their roller coaster. So it was awesome. So that's cool. I definitely think it's cool. I definitely think it's a really good idea. And I'm excited to see what Schell Games is going to do with this, right? Now, is this something that I'm assuming I could still play it in my room, and I could just have a friend push me around in my chair.
It might work. That might work.
Yeah.
But man, what about Jesse Schell? That dude is an OG of the highest order. Like he's on top of all the new technology. This guy is making VR games for cars. They're also working on another conventional VR game that we don't know what it is yet, but they do say that it takes a new approach to physics in VR games. So it'll be interesting to see what they're working on for the stuff we actually use.
Absolutely.
Moving along, let's talk again about Resolution Games. They also said this week that they estimate VR has 5 million active users. And before you guys say pump the brakes, there's more headsets than that were sold.
Active.
Yes, but it's always been a guessing game as to how many of the headsets that have actually been sold people are using. We know that there's over 5 million PSVR out there, and we estimate that there's at least a few million Quest 2s as well. So Resolution Games estimates that there are 5 million active users, meaning people like us that regularly use VR out there. And while that might not be the tens of millions that game on console, that's certainly a big enough user base developers to make a very good living on, and that is what's significant about this headline.
Yeah, well, we love you too. Alex VR says he loves us. We love you too, man. We love your podcast, bro. And so yeah, I agree. I think it's crazy. What we were saying. I got wrapped up in Alex.
We're 5 million active users.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. It may not seem like much. I mean, it is a lot. Yeah, like you said, compared to tens of millions of console users. But you have to realize that realistically, when it comes to AAA games and game quality and gameplay, we've got a few. The consoles have, I mean, they've been going on for decades. Right. So I mean, it's apples and oranges, but we've made so much headway in just a year or two. I see us surpassing them, which a lot of people laugh at, but 5 to 10 years from now, it's gonna flip. That's how fast I think technology is moving. I think a couple years ago, I would have said maybe 10 to 15, but maybe in a year or two, I might say 2 to 3. I really think things are picking up pace on every level, and I'm picking up the optimism that Onakazi doesn't have. I'm going to take away your pessimism, bro.
Onikazi says, do they define what they mean by active users? They don't give a specific criteria for what their definition of active is. But I think the term is. I mean, well, I mean, I guess it's a matter of what you consider active, right? Hopefully, they don't mean people who use it once a year. I got to imagine that by active they mean people who, on some kind of regular basis, use VR.
Yeah, well, you got to think a lot of people have PlayStations that they don't touch either. And it's not exclusive to VR, you know. It's just so I mean
Right.
it
And we're in we're still in the 8-bit Nintendo phase of VR, right? Like we had our early CV1, HTC Vive, PlayStation VR. That was kind of like the Atari era. Now we're in getting into standalone. We're kind of in the 8-bit Nintendo Game Boy era right now for VR consoles. So going ahead, and I did mean to say VR consoles, by the way, because Quest, like it or not, that's a VR console. But we're still in kind of the infancy, and it's not going to take us as many years as it took consoles to develop, because obviously the more technology develops, the faster it develops. So a generation, uh, today's generation is shorter than yesterday's generation, but we're still in the early days, and I think the next 5 years are going to be a transformative time in for our technology, and I can only imagine 20 years from now. Like today, we have VR games that we go into and pretend like we're playing console games, like through emulation or through tributes like Pixel Ripped. Imagine 20 years from now what kind of technology we're going to be going into to pretend that we're playing VR.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We want to emulate it. We'll miss the old jank of the early systems, right? Scion will be trying a Quest 2 simulator because he'll be wishing he had tried it back in the day. I think that's what's
Right,
happening.
right. Yeah, right. Right. Onikazi says it's more than just sold then. Yes, that's that's the point. It's about, uh, you know, roughly half of the VR headsets that have been sold are active users, maybe a little less than half. So
Cool.
not bad for this early stage in the game.
No, not bad at all. Especially since oh god, I just clicked something. Especially since, like you said, I mean, this Quest 2's only been out a year. It's crazy how fast, how good these games are getting, and it's just exciting time.
And the hardware developing new features all the time. I mean, Quest getting updates left and right with new stuff that they didn't even advertise at launch, and the same could be said for Vive Focus. Vive Focus 3 gets large area co-location mode and Wi-Fi 6E
Ooh.
soon. So basically, in a very soon to come update, the brand new Vive Focus 3, which again, subsequently $1,300 for this, but we'll forget about that for a minute. It's going to feature co-location, which is a feature that's been long rumored for Oculus Quest 2 that has not dropped yet. Um, so basically, what co-location means is you're going to be able to play in the same space as someone else who's wearing the same headset, and
Oh,
the headsets are going to be able to see each other, and you're going to be able to play together in the same room. So that's coming to Vive Focus 3, as well as Wi Fi 6E, which is the brand new 6 gigahertz standard for Wi Fi, which, obviously it's not going to have as wide of a range as the 5 gigahertz or even like the 2.4. It's not going to be able to penetrate through walls and stuff as well. But what it is going to do, if you're in the same room with your router, it's going to have a super high bandwidth, low latency connection for wireless VR if you want to tether to a computer. Um, Also, what this headline doesn't tell you, Roots, is that the playing area, the maximum play size for Vive Focus 3, is about to get a huge upgrade, and it's going to be 2 to 3 times the size of what the Oculus Quest can do. So big updates for Vive Focus. Maybe not making that $1,300 pill easy to swallow, but maybe a little bit easier.
$1,300, man. What can I do with? I could get 4 Quest 2s. I could get 3 256 gigs and still have $100 to buy games for each one of them, right? That's a lot of money. My biggest question from this headline right here is I'm watched it come up. When did I miss Vive Focus 2? Like, I didn't know there was a second one. I'm surprised there's a third one. Like, is there any difference? I don't know, man. Is anybody using these? I guess in China they would have to be, because I don't think they can get the Quest 2. Like, that's their version of it, right?
Well,
Um,
the first Focus was, I think, exclusive to the Asian market, and then Vive Focus 2 came along right around the time that Oculus Quest came along, and and this is me going from memory, so don't murder me if I'm getting the timeline a little off, Simplex and other fact checkers out there. But these have always kind of been, obviously marketed like everything from Vive as an enterprise solution. They say it's not for consumers, but then they add all this cool gaming stuff into it, you know, like uh, like people aren't going to buy it to play games on. Obviously, people who have deep pocketbooks are going to be gaming on this thing, and it's only recently that Focus has become a global product.
hmm. Well, I have my doubts of how good it is. Scion says it's cool but expensive, and Daniel Kaz says he heard the wireless PCVR doesn't work very well on the Focus pre-update. So I guess we'll find out. I mean, time will tell. So far, if I'm going by Vive's history with their hardware, with the exception of HTC Vive and the Vive Pro, it's just not done very well. So I don't think this one's going to do that well. Although that's I mean, in their market, I have no idea. They could be flying off the shelves over there. So
Well, to be fair, that really the only big point, the big negative about the recent HTC headsets, the only thing besides price, obviously the price is a big thumb up the ass, but besides that, taking price off the table, it's this controller tracking, and hopefully the Focus is better than the Cosmos. I haven't heard anybody that's went hands on with this thing yet and tested it out. I know the early Focus didn't have good
mm.
controller tracking on it. I know the Cosmos didn't. So that's kind of the big question here. If it has good controller tracking on it, then there's no doubt in my mind that this is a amazing uh, premium, you know, premium quality headset. It's just that software, it has to work, right? Software has to work, and that remains to be seen.
Let me ask you this, and it's not wireless, but like, if you're going to go shell out $1,300, maybe a couple $700 more, you get the Star VR, the best headset out there, right? Couple grand, isn't that what it is?
Or like that one, that Vario they just announced, that
Oh
has
yeah.
the super high resolution. But I'm kind of over the super high resolution. Like I've got a sufficient amount of resolution right now. I'm looking for new features. If I'm going to buy a new like PC VR headset, like they're going to have to show me something if they want me to buy something for the PC. So yeah,
It's true.
um, you know,
Onikazi says that they solve the bad controller tracking by not including controllers with the flow, and that is
right,
very true.
right. That's a good solution if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, it works perfect. I guarantee Mash's controllers have had no problems, no issues.
Daniel Cass says 120 degrees field of view. I wish Facebook would release a cheaper clone of Focus 3. I know, right? Maybe Cambria will have some more field of view for us, right?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.
By the way, hello Wolveraza. Thanks for joining, friend. Um, all right, so that's enough. That's enough metaverse. That's enough hardware. Let's talk games roots. Song in the Smoke gets immersive minimal UI mode in the update. Now, for my taste and my you know the amount of time that I spend in that game, I liked the UI. I liked that when I was hungry, that just for a split second, every now and then, it would flicker these little icons up in front of my face. I thought the art style looked really nice. That it was much cooler than previous games that came before it that had audio cues that was constantly telling you that you needed to eat or drink or something. I enjoyed the UI, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people got annoyed by that popping up in front of their face like a some person nagging them to take the trash out or something, right? Uh, well, apparently you don't have to play with that anymore now, Roots. You can turn that off and have minimal UI, and it extends beyond just that. Like a lot of these training cues and things that pop up, it gets rid of all that stuff and makes the game, some would say, much more immersive.
Well, that's good news to me because I was one of those people that was annoyed by the indication that I was hungry. And I agree. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to hear "damn, I'm thirsty" or "I'm hungry" every 5 seconds either. But for me, because I was hungry the whole game, apparently I was doing it wrong. It was in my face the whole time. And that, after you run around for 30, 40 minutes with these things popping up, it's like, okay, enough. So I think it's awesome. They've listened to people. You got people like Wes will be like, you know what, I want to see it. Roots doesn't want to see it. Now we have options. We've always said options are good. And maybe it makes me think that our decision to revisit this game and talk about it soon in the future is a good idea. I think it's,
Yeah.
it's such a good game. I don't think we really delved deep into it enough.
Yeah, we're definitely going to revisit this game. We think it deserves more time from us. We're just waiting on a proper gap that we can kind of fit it into. But I mean, if that gap doesn't come soon, within the next couple of weeks, we're going to make time for it during our hiatus.
Yeah.
And let's just talk up for a minute about that. Um, we're coming up on the end of the year quickly, folks, and you guys know what that means. Anybody who's been following our channel for any period of time knows that that means the year-end extravaganza is coming, the 2021 show, and that is not going to be any kind of a small undertaking. Last year, we gave away almost 100 games. We gave some ungodly amount of awards. It's like 50 or 60 awards, I think. Uh, it was almost an 8-hour show that we did, and it took a lot of preparation. So, uh, within the next few weeks, we're going to put a halt to our weekly schedule of content. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to do any kind of shows. We'll be live with various gameplay streams, and if there's something that we feel like we just need to talk about, we'll come on the air and we'll talk about it. But as for our set weekly schedule, where we come on every Sunday and every Wednesday and do a podcast, there aren't going to be many, if any, of those during the month of December, as we prepare for the 2021 show. And part of that preparation is going to be playing the games, the ones that are up for Game of the Year. We need to know, because it is going to be hotly contested this year. I feel,
Hmm.
unless after the fall just blows everything away, which is a possibility. Um, it's going to be hotly contested, and we need to have fresh experience to draw from when we make that decision along with all of you. And we'll talk more on a later episode about how you can impact not only the categories that we give awards for, but the winners as well. Um, that'll be a future episode of Strangers in the Night, I would imagine, here within the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Onikaze says, how are you going to top that 24-hour string? And I said, nah, 48-hour extravaganza. Hopefully we can get it to less than 8 hours. But this is my thing. I don't think it's going to be any less packed with action. We have another host for one. Even though Masher was there for the discussion, he's going to be there, and he's Mr. Keys. Like with the Oculus Quest 2 group, he's getting keys left and right. So I almost guarantee it's going to be way over 100 keys this year. It's going to be like our first one. It seemed like we almost doubled or more than doubled everything. And I kind of have a feeling it's going to be close to that this time, but we'll see. Like you said, time is flying. We're going to be running up on this very close. And it's kind of exciting that we're going to be putting up the categories. We're going to be deciding on the categories so you guys can vote. But we're gonna have to decide that soon too, because we need to know exactly which games are the biggest contested ones, right? Um,
Yep.
so we
So
can play
yeah,
them.
very short order we're coming into this, and basically the only thing that we're waiting on is we have a couple of big releases yet to drop, and as soon as we get our coverage out on that, we're pretty much done for the year, and we're gonna go into 2021 show mode. In our content, our last week or two that we're doing regular shows is going to be all about the 2021 show. So it's a fun time, the holidays here on Virtual Strangers, and we have a lot of new people, and you guys are going to dig it, as is the case with everything else we do on this channel. It is very unique content, and it's a very unique community to be a part of, and you guys are going to have a lot of fun this year, just as we always have before.
Mash is Oprah. You should have dressed up for Oprah as Oprah for Halloween, Mash. That would have been cool.
Techno Glitch says, "I'll take a free copy of After the Fall, dude. Get your Infinity subscription, bro. I think that it's going to land on Infinity pretty early on."
Yeah. Let's put it this way, Techno Glitch. I'd be surprised if we get our free copy of After the Fall. Although we probably will. You know, the thing is it's. I'd love to have keys to give away that game. That'd be awesome.
Well, here's the thing. Even if we don't get an early key, we'll have a day one key, and the reason why is because of our good friends. Thank God for our friends at Viveport.
Oh yeah, that's
Our
right.
Viveport, our VIP subscription with Viveport is not just Infinity. It's every platform
It's crazy,
that
dude.
every title that drops on the platform. And Viveport, After the Fall is going to drop on Viveport Store on the same day it drops everywhere else. So regardless, we're not going to have to buy this one. Um, but I will anyway because I'm going to want to play it on PlayStation with the game controller too. So
Well, then that's good.
yeah,
Now you
so,
don't have to buy it on PC, and you can play both versions, right? That's awesome.
right.
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool. And Mash has it. Hey, totally nailed it. 2021 show and Christmas jammies. You know, Mash was in my stream last night wearing his Christmas jammies.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Christmas jammies right now.
That's
Like
right.
this is what I wear. They try this same shit with me every year, man. When I go over to my in-laws for Christmas, they want me to wear this certain stuff, and no, they have
I didn't tell you that Michelle behind the scenes has been trying to get come on, Roots. Let's get West. No, I'm just kidding. But that's funny. That is funny because well, Mash and I have been trying to. Mash, he has this idea. He'd love to get some Virtual Strangers Christmas jammies made, and I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't go both ways like that, man. Anyway, uh, Song in the Smoke, immersive minimal UI mode. We're definitely going to get back into it, and um, yeah, if I didn't have that visual cue, I would probably starve because there's so much going on in this game at one time. There's so many different things that you have to manage. It really is a multitasking game at its root. Um, if I didn't have that occasional visual cue telling me that I'm hungry, I would starve.
Mm.
And so I think it would be a very bad thing for me to turn that off.
Your sister says she'll put your name on a special pair for you, Wes.
She can do whatever she wants. That don't mean I'm going to have it on my ass. It ain't happening.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Anyway, Song of the Smoke coming to Steam VR soon as well. We didn't mention that in the headline,
That's
but
true.
so those of you who are playing on Valve Index or some of the other Steam VR headsets, you're going to get your copy of this very popular game in short order.
Awesome. Traveling Man doing a $5 donation says, you know who else is gonna love the 2021 show?
My mom.
Oh yeah, she's she's like behind all of it. To be honest.
Well, the 2021 show, it is super long.
That's true. You know who else likes it super long, West?
My mom.
That's right. Anyway, Song of the Smoke, not the only game getting a significant update. Man, they're just not going to quit developing for 2MD VR Football Unleashed. Roots, it's getting a full game exhibition mode update. It not isn't getting it. It has it. It has now received yet another update. Man, when are they going to just let this game be what it is? Like they're working on Runner right now, which is a game that everyone is super hyped for. Next gen VR game or VR game for next gen systems and current gen systems, I guess I should say. But Runner looks super cool. The whole VR world is super hyped for it, and these guys just won't quit improving 2MD football unleashed. This is like a legit football game now.
That's awesome. I think they're smart. You know, as good as Runner's going to be, or we hope it's going to be, and everybody's excited for it. There is no. Let's put this example. Somebody was saying last night. I think it was at my stream, or maybe it was in the Discord. I don't know. They were talking about this game, right? Oh, it was that other stream. It was the stream we did with for Virtual Strangers. They were talking about this game, and they said we finally have a full football game in VR. This is the first. They've done it. They're the first one. They're not only the first one to do the first football game in VR, the full football game, they've been the first ones to do the first full sports game in VR.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's smart. And I was excited to hear this because we keep saying, when are we going to get our basketball game? When are we going to get our football game? When are we going to get our baseball game in VR? And there's sports fanatics out there, Wes, that's all they want to play is sports in their video games. And up until now, they haven't had the option to play a full game. So this is it.
Exhibition mode brings the full-length football experience to this VR title with customizable game length and difficulty. You can do 20 minutes, 40 minutes, or a full 60-minute game against an opponent with up to 7 levels of difficulty. In addition, you can play a single game or a series of 7 games. Special teams are now part of the football experience. At any time, players who has possession of the ball can press A or X to automatically punt, which is factored into the opposing team's chance to drive downfield and score. Or the B or Y button will enter you into field goal formation. And at the snap, you're able to attempt a field goal throw. So you're basically, obviously you can't kick, so they're going to let you try to throw it, and your throwing power is amplified for the field goal mode, so you can really do it from way downfield. There's tons of other things that they've mixed into it. There's a quarterback challenge now. There's all sorts of different things. They amaze me with the level of support that they've given this title. How many people are left are still buying this? I mean, it must be a significant amount of people buying this on Quest because they keep updating it and updating it and updating it. This game's been around forever and it keeps getting better.
Yeah. Well, I told you yesterday I don't own it, but I'm going to now. It's now made it to the list where I have to play it. You know, I'm looking at this thumbnail on this Arts Hands VR article. Remind you that it's not the most graphically amazing game, but it's all about gameplay, and it kind of fits into what you were saying earlier in our discussion about where we are in VR as far as we're in the the 8-bit games, right? Like, remember Blitz? Like the old football games were so amazing. Weren't saying, yeah, Tecmo Bowl. We weren't saying, oh, this looks like shit. It doesn't look like a real football player. We were saying, this is cool, man. So this is our version of it, right? And 2-3 years from now, we'll have the Maddens, and I guarantee we'll have the Maddens. It might not even take that long, but this is cool. I think it's really cool, and hopefully we'll start to see some other games like the OG football. Although I don't know, I guess they have some soccer games out there that I don't know how you use your feet with your hands. That would be weird, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, well, NFL just released like a football experience on the Oculus Quest as well, but it's so stupid, man. They made it the Patrick Mahomes experience, so you can only be one player in it. And like, if you're like me and you're a San Francisco 49ers fan, you hate that son of a bitch. You don't want to be him. You want to kill him.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of weird. You should at least have a couple of variations because that's exactly it. My boss says he grew up with his dad legitimately telling him he could pick any team, but if he picked Pitts Puke is what he called it. He said he literally told him you need to get out, and that's how serious he was about it. So which is crazy to me, but so yeah, maybe they don't like Mahomes. I don't know. It's crazy.
Anyway, kudos to Truant Pixel out there. I can't believe just how much polish they put on this thing. You can say what you want about the graphics, but think about what it used to look like when it launched. Like, it looks way better now than it did then. Like when they had stick figures before, at least now that they have these, somewhat regular looking characters in there.
Well, it's got hands, and like I said, I'm still a big believer that gameplay trumps video, the game, how it looks. Now, that being said, it can't look like shit, but it doesn't have to be the most gorgeous game in the world. It just needs to do its job, and it looks good for what it is. Looks better than any Blitz game did back in the day. So Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and when you think about playing football in VR too, it's all about the first thing that you think about is always being able to drop back and have that classic quarterback throwing motion to throw down the field. And this game has had that nailed down for a long time. Like even the early iterations of this game really nailed that feeling of catching a receiver in formation, running down the field. So it's a strong foundation to build on, and they continue to build on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, moving along, we've been talking about augmented reality applications when we know that the Oculus Quest recently unlocked the pass through, and we knew that the application for developers during this generation that they weren't going to be able to do a lot with it with regards to games, but that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there trying. VR app Hauntify MR turns your home into a haunted house. So basically, you have this black and white pass through in your Oculus Quest. You turn your guardian boundary off. You map your whole house with this thing, and then it puts spirits in your presence, and you have to
Mm,
collect artifacts to take them on.
that's creepy. Don't put spirits in my house, bro. That's kind of different though, right? Like this is kind of exactly what we've been
It looks
saying, right?
cool.
Yeah.
It looks cool. There's a trailer for it. I put the trailer in the show notes for the patrons. I was going to run it as a live trailer on the show, but the voiceover in it is just so terrible. Like it's like computer generated voiceover, and it's bad. So I left it out. But the video footage looks really cool. It looks like if it works like it's supposed to work, this would be worth your time. And I'm pretty sure that it's free. So go to check out this article on VR Scout and link up to it. I'm pretty sure you can try this out for free.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be cool to actually, I guess, try it for free. See, and let me know how it works out for you. I don't know that I'm gonna be trying it. Wolveraza says, oh wait, was it Wolveraza? No, actually, I was got VR legs. Sorry, waiting for Michael Vick experience. He says, and Wolveraza says, I don't think dogfighting will make it into VR. Probably not. I think people would really, really freak out unless
Side
some
quest,
certain
bro.
people were doing stuff to dogs. Then it's okay. But most
Side
people,
quest.
yeah, yeah, side quest, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. At least on itch.io. It'll at least be on itch.io, right?
Absolutely. Ashley says haunted Pokemon Go. That's actually a really good idea. I think that would be cool. And rendered reality is coming in. Says, "Yo, what's up? What's up, man? How you doing?"
Hey, what's up? What's up, friends? And Driven By is joining us as well. What's up, Driven By? What's up, Rendered Reality? Thanks for hanging out with us today. Yeah, Ashley says something about Pokemon Go. There's actually a decent, what I hear is a decent Pokemon game for Oculus Quest. It's on Side Quest. So if you learn how to side load, maybe we can look at that when you're down here. But there is a Pokemon VR game on Side Quest that people say is pretty good. So
I'm
it's a fan
surprised.
game. Obviously, it's not official, but it looks cool.
I'm surprised they haven't had that taken down yet. That's crazy, right? That's such a big IP. Driven by wants to know who's playing after the fall day one. I think I will be. Wes will be. Mash will
All
be.
of it. Yeah.
Um, hell yeah.
Yeah, PD will too. He said he'd play with us if as long as it's not at 2 a.m.
Oh, well, let's do it, man. We'll have to make that's the thing, man. I love that's one of the best things I love with about doing the podcast is collaboration with other content creators that I've never really I've talked to PD many times, never I don't think I've ever talked to him in chat or been in a I think I may have been in the game with him once, but I can't remember. So it'd be cool.
So Decepticon, thank you, Decepticon. Decepticon corrects me. He says the Hauntify is $5 on itch.io. So
Okay.
my bad. It's $5. It's not free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you like haunted houses and you want to experiment with AR, check it out.
Hack says he thinks the Pokemon game has been removed, and Wolveraza said last time he checked it out, it was very, very detailed and seemed very illegal.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's probably gone by now. It's kind of like the Harry Potter broom flying thing we said weeks ago. Pick it up now while you can, because those things
Forgot
are
about
notorious about just disappearing.
Oh, I gotta do that. I forgot all about that, dude. That looks so cool. I need to check that out.
Yeah, I did too, actually, until right now. So we need to somehow remind ourselves.
Yeah, Ashley, you wanna get on a broom and fly through Hogwarts? We can do that. We can
Right?
do that if it hasn't been taken down yet. Somebody
Hell
made
yeah.
that.
Dude, that's my most anticipated flat game. Is that the Hogwarts? You know, I want to go. I want to be in Hogwarts. Damn it! I want to go to school. Check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rendered Reality says the pass through side quest stuff is pretty cool, at least to try. I've been looking forward to color pass through though. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying at the top of the show. Is I was kind of lukewarm on the idea of Cambria when they announced it. All of these different features that are going to be mainly social, but they are going to have gaming applications too. And I think that this stuff's going to end up being actually a lot cooler than what I initially gave it credit for. Let's just hope that the price tag isn't too crazy out of control with it.
Yeah. Well, everything's going up, Wes.
That's true. And the things that aren't are going down. You know who
You know,
else is going down, Roots?
My
I
mom!
was tempted to hit with a mash tag. I like to do that to mash sometimes. I'll throw something in there and then I'll hit his button. And it's like, what? It's fun.
Anyway, one more headline before we get to this week's featured stories. Mafia 2 and 3 VR mods are now available. Roots, we knew this was coming. I don't know, a month or two ago that the Mafia Definitive Edition got full VR support through modding. Through our friend Luke Ross, I think, is who did that one. Anyway, the sequel and the sequel to the sequel now both fully supporting VR. Again, thanks to the magic of Luke Ross. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool. Well, what's cool about it is Luke has already said a month ago when he was talking or when he first brought out Mafia Definitive Edition, he said he was going to do 1, 2, and 3. And then he was asking people for suggestions on what he's not stopping. You know, it's just going to keep coming. So when you hear 2 and 3 are done, that means he's now going to start a new game. And so I'm kind of curious because I haven't really gone to his Patreon for a couple days. You know, went there last week just to see if there was any update on Red Dead 2. And I don't know if he's announced what he's going to be working on next. So it'll be exciting to see what that is.
Yeah. Well, we know that that Discord, by the way, the flat to VR modding community is amazing. They're working on so many different things, from Zelda Breath of the Wild to all the different iterations of Resident Evil. I mean, they're getting ready to come out with Resident Evil 2 and 3, which are amazing, but the groundwork that they're setting in RE2 and RE3 in the re-engine is going to be able to kind of work forward into bringing 7 and 8 into VR as well on PC. So whether Capcom wants to do it or not, it really doesn't matter.
Mm.
The modding community is going to make it happen. And for all of those who heralded the death of PCVR with the launch of Lone Echo, not so fast, friends. I think that PCVR golden era is still ahead of us, and I think it's that modding is going to be a big part of that.
That's a perfect example of what we were open the show up with the GTA Definitive remaster, right? The trilogy. I returned it on PlayStation as a flat game, but it still applies the same thing because I'm going to buy it on the PC because the modding community is already fixing all the shit that's wrong with it, and that's not to mention all the additions on top of it. Like I was saying with Zimtalk stream, where he had 200 mods making Skyrim look like one of the best VR games I've ever seen. And it just the modding community is amazing, and I think what you just said is perfect, is exactly what it is. You know, PCVR might not have the funding of all these remakes, but what it does have is modding, and it does have community that is going to bring all these AAA games as they are into VR, and that can they might even be better than some of the other games that are being brought out on the Quest 2 that are being built from the ground up. The Resident Evil 2 and 3, it's first person. You got hand presence. It looks amazing, right? So I think we're finally seeing what is great about PCVR really starting to flesh out. So
Yeah, rendered reality asking if we back the Lynx R1, and no, that's not from Oculus, bro. I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I've got a G2. I'm not exclusively Oculus, but no, I did not. Mash did. Our esteemed co-host from Wednesday backed it, and he's in the chat. He says he got charged for it this week. So we're gonna hear from the horse's mouth how that thing actually is. But yeah, man, I've been meaning to talk to you off the air, Roots, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there now. I don't know if we'll actually end up going through with it or not, but we always have this. We have all these mods, and there's a lot of them. There's a laundry list of mods that we haven't got to try yet. There's the Firewatch, and I mean, there's so many of them. I haven't even played Outer Wilds yet, but there's so many like native VR releases that I really don't have time to get into all the modding like I want to. But but uh, generally, coming out of our year-end show in January, there's a lull. There aren't very many like VR releases or gaming releases in general that come out in January. Everyone is spent from the Christmas holiday season. The game makers know that. They typically take a month or two off to start the year. I was thinking that maybe we should trial this coming January mod month, and we just cover mods. We're mostly mods, not maybe just, but mostly cover mods in January this year and see how that goes. And if it's something that works well with whatever release schedule that there is, maybe we look at making that a permanent thing. Every January being mod month. That way we can catch up on some of this stuff.
I think it's a really good idea. And I think what we could do is we could create yet another channel in the Discord, and just have people make suggestions over mods over the next month or however long till January. So by the time January comes, we've got a list of all the best of the best mods. Because I always forget what's out there, right?
Dude,
There's just so many mods out there.
I don't. I know exactly what I'm going to play, dude. And you already mentioned Skyrim with its 1,000 mods, but I want to play Fallout 4 with all of
Oh
that
my God.
that last mod set that got published
The
for it from
survival.
Genghis VR. Yeah, yeah. That's probably the top of my list. Obviously, GTA 5 is on there, and I'm kind of even curious about that immersive mode for No Man's Sky, where they take all the overlays out and just kind of set you down on these planets to explore and figure it out. I even think that's pretty cool. So, Firewatch, another one, is very heavily story driven game. I want to try it out. There's a lot, dude. There's a lot of mods, and I think if we dedicate the whole month of January to it, that we won't even come close to getting through all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Masher says he's in. He's got 100 he's been wanting to do as well. So, if you're new to Virtual Strangers, that's kind of how we roll. We kind of try to figure out how to shift, to meld the show around us to give us an opportunity to play these games we never get a chance to try. Otherwise, we'll never do it. If we don't somehow incorporate it into the show, it's just not going to happen.
We cover what we want to play. 1. 2, we do original content. Those are the rules. And 3, be honest. Those are like the 3 rules. Cover what you want to play, be honest about it, and do unique content. Those are our tenets here at Virtual Strangers.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and with that said, we wrap this week's headlines and get into what I'm sure is going to be a very, very fun and interesting featured stories segment.
Yep.
Please stand clear of the door.
Record-breaking time.
We've got several containment sites where our runners farm snowbreed. Make your shots count and watch your ammo.
Snowy's here. Clean kill. Shoot the kill.
Good shot.
on. Found a booster. Reloading. Damn. Reloading. Reloading. Gotta reload.
Brawl disappeared.
Found a face scanner.
Watch out for those ceiling crawlers. They have a tendency to drop in unannounced, if you get my meaning.
Trying to reload.
They're here.
So this past week, Vertigo Games allowed select media partners to demo a beta version of upcoming co-op zombie looter shooter After the Fall. The preview content, which spanned a large variety of different VR media outlets, all seemed to paint a very similar picture. We now have a very clear picture of what this game is going to be, and one thing is for certain: After the Fall is not what we thought it was. If you wanted the evolution of Arizona Sunshine into a next gen story driven zombie shooter with 4-player co op, then you might be disappointed for a minute. But after you get over the initial letdown of your expectations not being met, you might just find yourself appreciating After the Fall for what it actually is. After the Fall is going to be a social VR experience for players that aren't into most of the multiplayer offerings that VR has given us up to the date. There are people out there who just like to hang out with friends, but don't always enjoy playing competitively and don't want to make a daily ritual out of passive activities like bowling or fishing or board games. So, how do you sell a campaign based VR first person shooter that will likely be finished in less than 2 hours? Well, you do it by using run variability, by implementing progression systems, and most of all, you do it by offering VR players something that we don't see very often: AAA level polish. And Roots, I think that's kind of the name of the game here. This is a cross platform with cross play AAA level VR social experience that has you blasting hordes of zombies that are flying with you as blood flies all over the place. I said on our stream yesterday, on our split stream of To the Top, that I'm kind of glad that we didn't get selected to to demo this, or to take place in this demo. And the reason why I said that is because my initial expectations for what After the Fall was is not what it is. And I think if we had been chosen to play it, that I would have been disappointed, because I love Arizona Sunshine. I want a story driven campaign that I can experience with my friends. But now that I've had time to digest that that's not what this is, I can truly see that I'm going to really enjoy what it actually is. And that is a AAA, super polished VR social experience that looks like it's going to be just brutal. What do you think about what After the Fall is actually turning out to be?
Well, I mean, as far as I know, at least Back for Blood doesn't have I mean, it's not really story driven too much. It's just mission to mission, and you're killing zombies every single one. I've played through half the game so far, and I don't really know what's going on. So I think the whole thing is about gameplay. In these type of games, this is the thing. It's only 2 hours long, right? At least from what you said. So it's going to have replayability. You're going to be progressing, and I guess maybe I'll go through before. People might say that's not long enough. I remember people raving about Propagation VR, and it's only like 20 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour. It's really short, right? And it's not even close to anything like this. I think what you said is exactly the point. This is a experience with your friends, and hopefully Meow Mix is correct in this. They really hope ATF adds more maps, and they're free. I don't even care if they charged us some, and it was like another 5 or 6 hours, a bunch of maps. I don't know, but either way, it would be nice to get extra. I mean, if you take anything away from Arizona Sunshine, which they just continued to add on forever, I'm sure they're going to add stuff to this game. I don't think it's going to come out and they'll be done for sure.
I think that's a given. I think we will get more maps over time. You have to realize what an undertaking this is to be able to support this game as a cross-platform game where players can play together from PlayStation VR to Quest to PC, and they have it all run smoothly. That is a massive undertaking, and it's not surprising that it's taken them all these years just to get us 5 maps. That's all this is. It's 5 maps, um, but it's not just 5 maps. It's 5 crossplay maps that, at least on the PC VR version, is super polished. I mean, this thing looks like Half-Life Alex level of production value, and a lot faster tempo gameplay, with a lot more going on on the screen at any one given time. Um, I'm a guy who's more like my jam is single player story driven experiences. I enjoy hanging out with my friends in VR, but I don't like playing contractors or pop one every day. I don't like being in competition all the time when I'm playing games. And stuff like bowling and fishing and ping pong and all that stuff is cool. Demio even all that stuff is cool for a while, but that's not something I want to do every day either. This Roots, even as a single player gamer, this is something I could see myself getting into on a daily basis with friends. And that's saying something for me. And I think there's a lot of people out there like me who aren't naturally geared toward the multiplayer offerings that we've had thus far in VR. But this is something totally different. It might not be different in terms of traditional gaming, but for VR, this is a very original game. Really, the only thing that offers anything like this, and it really doesn't even compare, is the co-op in Farpoint. It is kind of a similar thing, although it's only two players, and there isn't all the like there isn't a fraction of the progression that this game offers. Um, I'm so looking forward to this now. And I was scared at first when Tam 2 came on and told everyone that it isn't the long story campaign that everybody was hoping for. I was scared. But now, having seen this footage, having heard the opinions of so many of our friends whose opinions we totally respect, I think that this is going to be an instant game of the year front runner the day it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. There's so many things going on in the chat. I'm like watching one, and I'm wanting to comment on this and comment on that. You know, Technoglitch wonders why would you get the PSVR version?
Aim controller, bro.
Yeah,
Aim controller.
it's going to be the only version that has aim controller. As a matter of fact, Wes has told me privately that that's probably going to be the version he pays out of pocket for because of the aim controller, and I'm probably leaning the same way. Because if you set everything up right, it's going to be night and day difference. And that also leads me to what we were talking about while we were watching the trailer and what you were bringing up, Wes. This is crossplay. This is going to be everybody's going to be playing at the same time, which means they're like Wes was telling me. You've got to. There's going to be the same number of assets of zombies. Everything's going to have to be in the same areas. I mean, there's a lot of logistics to this. That's what is the biggest thing takeaway from this game of overtaking of what they've brought into VR, and I think it's going to be cool.
I think it's going to be huge, man. I think this game is going to be absolutely massive. I think it's going to be a hit. I think the reason it's taking them so long to make it to market is because they're going to make sure that it's right, and I think it's going to be absolutely huge. 32 player cross-platform social hub. So when you're not on a run, when you first load into the game, you're into this area with I mean, even though your party can only be 4 players, there's 32 in the hub, and it's players from all platforms just kind of commingling, and there's like an arcade with mini games, and I mean, so much going on here as just a social experience. I mean, if you don't have friends, which I know isn't the case with people in our community, there's always friends on the Discord ready to play. I'm sure we're going to be blowing this one up for a good long time after it launches. But if you're someone out there who maybe is new to our show or doesn't have a lot of people you like to play with in VR, you have options. You can easily from this multiplayer hub, you can easily invite people to party up with you by pointing at them and choosing it from a pop-up menu. Or you can play single player. Now, of course, this game is designed as a multiplayer game. If you choose to play single player, you will be playing with bots. You have to have a team. But I think if you choose to play this one single player, you're missing out. I think there's going to be every opportunity to play this with people, and I think that that's how you should take it in. No competition, no toxicity, especially if you're part of our community. This is just going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Texas not good enough. 180 degrees, no bueno. Gotta be 360 or nothing, brah. Fuck the aim controller. Well, I mean, everybody's got their preference, man. I completely respect it. I think you're wrong. So what do you think about the cost, man? People are like, man, if it's at $20, it's a day one buy. Yeah.
40 is the minimum on this.
Well, and then Texas 40, anything over 40 is questionable. But I got to remember what Wes was saying last week. We're not entering, we've entered. We've gone through a change in everything. And so the prices are going up. And I'm not even talking inside, even in outside, and just in the world, inflation wise. So expecting a game for $20 that is this polished, and it's coming from a developer of Arizona Sunshine, that you couldn't get Arizona Sunshine for cheaper than $40 for almost 4 years. I don't see it. I don't see it being any cheaper than 40. I would not set your expectations for that at all. 40 would be amazing. I think 40 is actually a steal. It may even be 50. I don't know. We'll see.
Do people even make $20 games anymore? Not hardly. I mean, indie developers do, or if the game's super short. But I mean, a game like this, there is absolutely no chance that this is $20. I'll bet you any amount of money that this don't launch for $20. This game is at least $40. I wouldn't be surprised to see it for 50, and I think it's going to be worth it. So
Yeah.
how about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Tech says F the aim controller. I'm trying to figure out, I gave him Firewall, I think. Is he not going to use an aim controller to play with us, or what's the deal on that one? I think the aim controller is all about setting it up properly. The camera.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm going to play mainly on the PlayStation with the aim controller, but I am going to do it. There are legitimate things to like about it. I own Arizona Sunshine on PlayStation. I own it on PC. I just bought it on Quest like 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure this is going to be the same thing with this game. I'm going to play this on every platform because every platform has its advantages and its disadvantages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, some of the other highlights or bullet points rather. Each run is different with variable enemy spawns and items to find. So 5 maps, on average 20 to 30 minutes to play through each map, depending on play style. But every run's different. So even though you're kind of going through the same map with the same story, the enemies are going to be different. There are going to be different numbers of them coming from different areas. The items that you find, which is kind of the name of the game here, it's a constant supply run. That's what you're doing. You're trying to find items, you're trying to find new guns and new upgrades on these runs. So every run different. And the difficulty level plays a big role in this. They want you to go from easy to normal, to go from normal to hard, from hard to insane. And for that extra risk that you and your party take on for the extra difficulty, you get the extra reward of harder to find, more rare items, cooler gun upgrades, and so on and so forth. Very similar gameplay loop to Left 4 Dead. A lot of people have pointed out. Complete with mid-level safe houses to recuperate, stock up, and save progress. Teamwork is crucial. Inventory space is limited, although again, you can play by yourself, assisted by bots. Loads of comfort and gameplay options to accommodate a wide variety of play styles. Very simply put, this is Vertigo Games leveling up and putting themselves into a very elite, rarefied air in terms of VR game development studios. Um, I think this is going to be one of the best games we've ever seen in VR, no matter what criteria that you're using to judge it.
So, do you think it's going to, like, you'll be upgrading your stuff, and then there'll be like eventually a new expansion or something that drops where you're going to need those upgrades, right? Because that would be the progression, eventually. Or maybe that's how it is. There's five levels, right? Or 5 different maps. So,
well, the way it's going to work is like you're going to need the best guns from the easy level to be able to take on normal, and you're going to need the best stuff from normal to take on hard. It kind of feeds back into itself like that. Like you need to get to the next level to get the better stuff, but you need better stuff to get to the next level. So this game's built on replayability. Uh, the whole core concept of this game is that every time that you play it is different, yet similar enough that with repetition you get better at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Silence says it's kind of similar to the From Other Suns game loop, I guess, in a way it is. And that's what I would be the takeaway from this, as people in the chat, very many people, I guess a couple, are saying it's, $20 is too, or $40 is too expensive for 2 hours. But it's not 2 hours.
But
The first
it's not 2
playthrough will be
hours.
2 hours. It's kind of like somebody saying, you know what, Wes, $60 for, or $40 for the game Hades, for the run through. But by the time I beat Hades in 8 hours, 10 hours, or whatever, but that game is designed to where you're going to keep playing. I mean, it just keeps building. This is one of those games where your first playthrough is just the beginning, right? And before long, you're going to be 12 hours in, and you're just now starting to get to hard or something. So
Tam2 called it the onboarding process. Is what he's, everyone's calling it the campaign. He called it the onboarding process. The campaign is just there to teach you how to play. This guy, if you're buying this game expecting it to be a story campaign, like in that traditional sense, like Arizona Sunshine or any other number of single player games, then you should not buy this game. This is not what this is. This is a game that's meant to be played and replayed. And if you're going to judge it based on dollar amount per campaign length, then you're going to be sorely disappointed. But I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed in this game. When I said I think it has Half-Life Alex level of production, I mean, how many games can say that? Not many, not many. And I think this is going to be one of them.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited to try. So somebody was saying December 9th is so far away. As it scrolls up, got VR legs, right? It is, but it's the good news is we've entered a time where time just seems to fly by, melt away. December 9th will be here so quick you won't even believe it.
Yeah, that's why I had that little caveat in there. We're talking about making December the month that we play the Game of the Year candidates. Well, I mean, that and After the Fall, which subsequently is probably going to be one of those candidates. So it's going to work out. January, we're talking about January being this game this month where we just focus on mods. Well, Wanderer is going to come out in January as well. So uh, it's not going to be all about the mods. So we're going to have stuff to play, but we very much have our next couple of months spelled out for us. PD, join us in chat. What's up? Paradise Decay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw some blasphemy in the chat, Wes. Onakazi says, okay, screw Returnal and Biome 3. I haven't, Wes knows. That game is like, it's so bittersweet because just when you get so excited, you finally beat that boss, you get to the next biome and you're like, oh, fuck, man. Like, doesn't matter how powerful you are, you feel underpowered, right? They did a really good job in that game of constantly making it fresh.
Yeah, man. I love Returnal, but I understand the frustration. A lot of people said that. I feel kind of guilty because I didn't have a whole lot of difficulty with the third biome, but a lot of people do.
You approach it different though, Wes. You're gonna go through, you're gonna grind and grind and grind. And when you finally get to the boss, you're gonna be so powerful, you're just gonna melt him. You're not gonna sit there and try to beat him a million times over and over again and figure out the best. You know what I mean? Everybody's strategy is different. And yours is like the sure-proof way of not wasting time trying to kill the boss, right?
I waste time dying to the regular enemies.
That's always fun.
No, I had the Ice World was the one that gave me the fits, and I don't think you've been there yet, Onakazi. So you think 3 stuff? Keep going, bro.
I need to get back to that game now that they have the save. I haven't played it for quite a while, and I don't think I've made it past Biome 3 either.
I've been itching to play. Wow, well, maybe we should split stream that one.
I would love that.
Returnal.
Hell yeah, dude. Although anybody that's going to be on the other screen is going to, like Mash was saying last night, because he's like, man, I don't know how I look so bad because he hasn't played for so long. And I could look amazing. And then the people look at Wes's screen and are like, fuck, this guy's a god. Because you've put in like 3 times as much time as me. You're just really good.
Oh, that's why the producer has to be on the ball about switching the scenes up, right?
Yeah.
So when somebody's trying to make the same jump like a bunch of times, you just
switch it to somebody else.
Flip it over to the other one, right?
Yeah, yeah. I totally did.
Here's the problem though. Here's the problem with split streaming Returnal. Who's going to sit out? Who's not playing? Like everybody wants to play, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite. One of my favorite.
Well, Mash is volunteering. Mash is volunteering to do production on that one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I'm down, bro. I'm
Yeah.
down anytime for that.
Okay, so
Uh,
Technoglitch is asking the next question that I wanted to address about this game, because I saw it a lot. Will this be cross-buy with Quest 2? And all we can go with Tech is how they are with their previous games, and it was not for Arizona Sunshine. So I would not hold your breath. It's most likely not going to be.
yeah, unfortunately, Arizona Sunshine does not support cross-buy, so I would not expect After the Fall to either. But on the bright side, for those of you out there who own multiple headsets, Arizona Sunshine does support app sharing. So if you do have two headsets under your roof and you want to play with a loved one, you should only have to buy one copy of the game, and log in on your secondary headset uh, uh, as yourself, and then have your loved one log in on your main headset that has sharing enabled, and you both should be able to access the game and play together.
Cool.
Anyway, I think that this game looks amazing. I think it is going to be on the short list. I think we're going to have a very difficult uh, time deciding what the overall game of the year is going to be this year. We might be able to pick platforms a little easier. Even that's not going to be super easy. But when it comes to the overall game of the year, I think we're fucked this year. And I think fighting against recency bias with this one is going to be tough because we're not going to know, is it really as good as we think it is, or is it just because it's a freshie? Um, but thus is the hand that we're dealt, and that's why we're going to lean on the people. Obviously the people on the Discord, and even more so the patrons who get to literally sit in and discuss with us as we decide the winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Meow Mix wants to know if this counts as one of the 5 titles that Vertigo Games is working on for Oculus. That's a good question. I mean, I would
Yeah,
imagine so.
it does. 100% it does. And uh, we need to be clear about that these are not Oculus exclusives. This is Vertigo Games having their next 4 titles after this one lined up already. And we've already learned that a lot of these titles are going to be from known
Mm,
IPs under their same umbrella parent company from Coke Media. Some of the titles were Metro, and what were the other ones? Saints Row, and one of the zombie titles, right? There was another zombie title like Dead Island, maybe,
I think
that
it
was
was.
under that same umbrella as well. So good stuff coming from Vertigo. Obviously, if you're going to publish any kind of successful VR game in the next few years, it's going to support Quest 2. So no big surprise there. But yes, this absolutely 100% is one of the 5 titles.
Okay. Well, only cause he says he understood the no cross buy for Arizona Sunshine since the Quest 1 came out so long past when development ended with After the Fall. It shouldn't be that much extra work, so I think it should be cross buy. I mean that's very valid. Who knows? I mean, Vertigo Games, it's really their call. But when something like this, it's the only thing we can go by is just what they've done in the past. And yeah, but that could be a good reason why it is cross buy. I'd love it to be cross buy for sure.
Yeah, I think that VR studios overestimate the monetary impact that cross buy has. I think that the way they think of it is that if they support cross buy, that they're giving away copies of the games that they would otherwise sell, and that's just not true. People aren't going to. I mean, you're just basically forcing people to choose which platform they want it on more. Nobody's going to buy it twice. They're either going to buy it on one or they're going to buy it on the other. Um, so really, all they're doing is costing themselves money, shooting themselves in the foot, because a lot of people that they make their decision whether or not they're going to buy a game is whether or not it supports cross buy. So I think just as many sales as they would be losing by supporting it, they're losing even more so by not supporting it.
Yeah, well, Oculus is definitely losing money because Tech said earlier, well, that makes my decision easy, Steam, right? So it's exactly what you said, and I'm the same way. If I see that something's cross buy, I may have not even been thinking about it, but it's cross buy. It's already, then it becomes a no brainer. It's going into my Oculus my library, because now I can play it on the go at my kid's house, or I could play it at home with a little bit more fidelity on the PC. If I don't have that choice, then most games I'm not going to buy Quest. I'm going to lean towards PC for a lot of reasons. And so I'm going to end up going Steam. So
Yessery Bob says, I got that annual Viveport subscription, so it'd be nice if it came to Infinity. It is coming to Infinity. Hopefully, it'll drop on day one. I do think it's good that you have it annual, because they've shown that in previous months that if you want a good title from Viveport Infinity, you're going to have to be on annual, one of these top titles.
it's a very good chance this could be on day one. It could be an annual thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's likely even. I think that it's most likely going to drop day one on Viveport, just like every other platform.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, after the fall, coming to Oculus Quest 2, PlayStation VR, PC VR, all on December 9th. 3 weeks, Roots. 3 weeks, and we're going to be playing this.
That's crazy. I can't wait.
Roots, we were all surprised earlier this year when Stride developers Joyway teased their next VR title Against, and subsequently released a demo of the game's alpha version. The demo was surprisingly polished and featured gameplay aspects that to this date have not been seen before in a rhythm action game. Then came a period of user feedback as the studio contemplated ways to make the already stale rhythm genre into something fresh and new. Fast forward a few months and we arrive at the current day, as Joyway has just revealed the latest iteration of Against, which seems to be a much more fleshed out experience with a vastly different aesthetic. Against's new look has been brightened up and made a lot more colorful versus the alpha's Sin City-esque black and white motif. While the original look was cool for sure, what has been lost in atmosphere has been replaced with vivid, colorful detail. And the changes are not limited to sheer cosmetics. We now have a much more complete picture of what this game is going to offer. Joyway has revealed that Against will feature 7 action-packed levels that can be tackled in 3 difficulties. Set in 1930s New York City, you play a detective fighting your way through hordes of enemies that work for an evil scientist called Dr. Weiss. Unlike other VR rhythm action games, you're given a range of weapons to do this with, whether it's your bare hands, swords, guns, knuckle dusters, and more. Against will also feature in-level bosses to fight. Supporting Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Valve Index headsets, Against is set to arrive via Steam Early Access at some point this winter. Roots, it doesn't take these guys very long to develop a pretty awesome, polished-looking VR game, does it?
That's crazy. I was just talking in the Discord to you and Mash about Stride and how far that's coming, and it's getting fully fleshed out. This game comes out of nowhere. It looks even more fleshed out. Somebody was saying in the chat that they play Third Eye played the demo and they thought it was okay. This looks completely different game and effing amazing. And I agree. I'm watching this. I'm like, I agree with Technoglitch. This looks better than Pistol Whip to me. This looks like a game that I want to play right now and I feel stupid for turning Mash down a chance to check it out. This looks amazing, bro. Like, what is going on in this thing? It just looks really cool.
Dude, the alpha demo had a fraction of what's going on in this footage, and it was fun. I mean, it was really good. So I can only imagine what this game is now. And I'd like to bring you back to the earlier days of our channel when you were talking about Audica, and I described to you my perfect rhythm game, and it being a rhythm action game. And this was before Pistol Whip did their update with their campaign levels in it. Said I wanted a rhythm game on rails that took me through levels of enemies, variable levels with different scenery and different enemies. I wanted to be able to make my way through there with multiple different weapons. I wanted to have to at times defend in order to counterattack, and I wanted a boss fight at the end of it. And
It's got it
these
all.
guys nailed it. They nailed it. This is the game that I envisioned all those months and years ago, and they've put this thing together in like less than a year. I mean, that we know of. They revealed this thing and gave us a demo the next week, and now here we are 3 months later, and just look at how much improved it is. It's incredible what these guys are able to pull off in such a short period of time.
It makes me wonder how big their team is, how many different teams they have working, because obviously there's more than one, probably two or three. It's super cool to see a game come out, get so fully fleshed out so quickly, and we're so close to winter, right? Ashley says she broke down and bought Beat Saber. She said this always happens to everybody that watches Virtual Strangers. That will start talking about a game, and they'll end up buying it, and maybe somebody just brought it up and you end up buying it. Beat Saber is definitely Masher's favorite game.
Dark Angel says, wasn't the demo for this in black and white? It certainly was. It actually took a page from the Sin City aesthetic, and it was really cool looking. It was. This is something very different, something that looks a lot like Sirento, honestly, with the color palette and the way everything looks. Different, but cool as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and just for you, so you guys know, they are holding an open beta for this right now, or closed beta, but you can apply for it on the Joyway Discord. And our friend Eric did just that. He gained access to it. Said he just played it tonight, and all he's allowed to say is, "Wow." And that's no surprise. Again, this game was the earliest versions of this game was awesome. I can only imagine what it's like now.
Yeah. Do you think they'll be able to Wolveraz is a little concerned, at least from what I read in his comment. He loves to turn the music down and play his own music for not Beat Saber, Pistol Whip. And he says that's the ultimate way to play. The music makes the experience. So hopefully this will be one of those ones where because sometimes the music you have to, I mean, maybe you'll love this music so much, Wolverazer, you're like, I have to play it this way. But sometimes you need to have the music of the game right to have it feel right. As far as the way the slashing works. So I don't know.
Well, Eric, on his Quest 2 community channel just a few days ago, interviewed the developers from Cloudhead Games that make Pistol Whip, and they said specifically that they designed that game to be compatible with everyone, so
Oh,
that if you wanted to play it as a rhythm game, you could, but it wasn't necessary. I'm not so sure that Joyway is going to take the same approach.
hmm.
It very well could be the case that you must be able to hear the music so that you can attack and defend on rhythm.
I don't care. I'll listen to whatever music they want to be able to play this game. It looks so amazing. And Masher is correcting me. I did not know this. He says Beat Saber is garbage. I guess I did know that. Oh. It's one of
Anyway,
those things where some people love it. I recommend Synth Riders. That's the next thing that we need to convince you to buy because that is amazing.
yeah, I should be able to hook her up on that front
Oh yeah.
when she visits. Um, I had a couple of comments that scroll by at the very beginning of the segment that I didn't want to miss. I'm going to scroll up here. Stuff that kind of tied into the last thing, but uh, I wanted to make sure to. Okay, so Got VR Legs said, did anyone try Resist? We're going to be covering Resist this Wednesday on Strangers in the Night, so be sure to tune in for that. We'll talk a little bit about that. I have not tried it yet. It is in our library. We are going to be playing it, and reporting on it this Wednesday.
Yeah.
There was one more, and let me see if I can find what it was. I guess we'll have to scratch that up to the one that got away.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll come back up. I doubt it.
Perhaps.
I'm like you. I see a comment and it's like, oh, I have some, because, we're not just reading every comment, but it's something that we feel like will add something to the conversation that, it's one of the things that I was telling Wes. That's why I love our format, because you are the call in for a talk show. And no matter somebody that's on radio, they have callers, right? You're our callers. You bring up the points that we miss or that maybe you're interested in hearing about. So
I do see that Lincoln Clay has joined us. What's up, friend? Thanks for joining the conversation. Thomas McNostril says, you know who else likes fully fleshed out quickly?
My mom!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does.
Absolutely.
What's up, Tass? Tass sliding back in.
Yeah. Everyone's stopping by to say hello. Thanks for coming by, guys. Yeah. Anyway, the bottom line with this one is I was excited for it before. I'm super excited for it now. I think that if they don't fuck it up, like, this is going to easily be my favorite rhythm game. Although I think that we're getting to the point now that we really have two different genres of rhythm game now. They shouldn't all be lumped together. There's pure rhythm games, and then there are rhythm action games. And as far as rhythm action goes, I think this is looking like it could be better than Pistol Whip.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, you got knuckles, brass knuckles, you got swords, you got Tommy guns. I mean, who doesn't want to shoot a Tommy gun?
Dude. You can run the walls in this. It's got parkour in it.
That's crazy. Well, all the good things about Stride, right? That's just crazy, man. That's cool.
Yeah. And all the things you complained about in Pistol Whip with the level design and the monotonous looking art style after a while. I mean, none of that here. None at all.
Meow Mitch says he's drinking scotch. Yeah, the Seahawks lost. So feel sorry for you, man. But at least you got the scotch to make it feel better, right?
Yeah. Well, again, I am a San Francisco 49ers fan. So,
so Wes is inside. He's like, yes.
Honestly, I don't watch football like I used to, but
I know. I mean,
still don't have much for the Seahawks. Anyway, not long to wait on this one. It's coming this year. I think that's amazing as well. I'm sure they'll hold it in early access for forever, like they're doing with Stride. But I mean, if it's like this in early access, who cares, man? Like, it's only going to get better, right?
Yeah, this is really cool.
Spry Guy says, at least you're not a Lions fan. Well, I kind of have two teams, and guess what my other one is? I'm a Lions fan. Like, I've been a San Francisco fan my whole life, but I'm from Detroit originally. Like, it's where I was born, so I'm kind of a Lions fan too, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm not paying any. Oh, you're a Lions fan as well, Spry Guy. Okay, so it must not be going well. Someone at work told me it wasn't going well. I have a Lions hat that I wear at work. Yeah.
Yeah, very few teams can hold that record of just knowing that overall you're probably not going to be that good. You know what I mean? Saints is another team. Tampa Bay Buccaneers used to be, before Brady went there, they were one of the worst teams in the NFL forever. So it's just crazy.
Well, they they let their franchise quarterback go this year, the Lions. So I mean, it's to be expected. That's going to be a rough patch until they get a new guy in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's what do you say we move on to the next topic before Scion has to go to
bed? Sounds good.
The land of opportunities. The committee assures you that the Majorsk security zone is under total control. By taking advantage of our free will missions program, you will access advanced and reliable equipment, balanced nutrition, latest technology, and comfortable living environment. Staying inside the radius offers unmatched benefits. Unchanged can enjoy the pure ecology of the radius, its unique wildlife, and plenty of leisure opportunities. Simply follow our guidelines at all times and avoid suspicious encounters. Venture into the radius. Explore the unknown. Become a hero. The land of opportunities. You're trapped in forever.
So, I've previously stated that I've not seen another game that's shown more improvement from beta to present day than I've seen from Into the Radius. This past week, developer CM Games has once again shown they will not leave well enough alone, as Into the Radius just got a huge 2.0 upgrade with plenty of new features. In fact, this latest update is the largest that the game has seen to date. The game's graphics have once again been overhauled, now focusing on better lighting and detail, as well as aiming to improve the overall performance of the game. There are new weapon upgrades and modifications, as well as new ammo types to go with them. New enemies have been introduced, and there's changes to the structure of the map, and the game's story has been expanded. There are even additional missions to give players a chance to settle into the game's progression system. There's also bug fixes and tweaks, including Ruuts, issues with the Oculus controllers, Scion, and handheld maps. Into the Radius version 2.0 is live now. Ruuts, good gets great, great gets even better. I think it's time that we make another run on this and seriously put some time into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wolveraza has a good point in that that general area. He says he played a little bit of it, need to dig into it someday. Viveport Joy, this is on Viveport Infinity, so if you don't have this game, you can go play it right now and check it out, because it does, it look, I was even telling you before the show, it looks so much better than it did when we played it. And even the map, that map looks really good.
Yeah, everything looks great with it, man. Everything looks great. This looks like it looks like some of the best games that we have in VR today. Like, these guys have stuck to their platform when regards to PC VR, and they're leveraging that power and continuing to optimize and improve. And when they got it to where it was really good, they went straight back to the drawing board and redid it all again. And it shows. And Techno Glitch in the chat says, last time I tried this, it was in beta like 2 years ago. Dude, it was garbage town back then. It was a jank fest. No more. And it was barely, there was barely any jank last time we jumped into it, which was around 1.0, 1.1 update. But there were a few things, including issues with the Oculus controllers. And apparently, according to this list of bug fixes, that has now been addressed.
Do you think I'll be able to throw the knife now?
That's the question, isn't it? Or even like the little probes. That's kind of the knife I can deal with not being able to throw, but you have to be able to throw those probes to make it across the map. And if there's an issue with that, then it's like trying to hop on one leg through a minefield. You know what I mean?
This is where the knife comes in handy. There's some enemies where the knife will one shot them, and they're like really cagey fucking things that come at you fast, and they really will jack you up. And so like that's why it was frustrating, because Sion's like, just throw the knife at him. It falls down. You know what I mean? And the thing's in my face. It kills me. You know, I call shenanigans. Sion, I think you did that on purpose to make me look stupid in the stream. Maybe not.
Well, the good thing is that we'll know quickly, right after we get into this thing, like if it's going to be more of the same with regards to that, or if they fixed it, because you can tell in the tutorial, which is a pretty lengthy tutorial, but it's needed in a game like this. And they said that they've added in missions to help players settle into the game's progression. That's good, because there's a kind of a lot going on here.
Well, that's exactly what I was just gonna say. It is has made the point for me, and I run into this a lot of games. If it's just too much to the game, It's too much game for me. It's so much going on. It's daunting. It's kind of like what we say about No Man's Sky. You know, it's like, oh, there's so much going on. It's like you get a little bit, at least I get a little bit apprehensive about digging in, because how deep does this rabbit hole go? But I guess this is from what Scion says, and I guess anybody that plays this game, this is like the ultimate Stalker VR game. If you like Stalker, this is the closest thing you're going to get to it, right? So
It says you can throw the knife if you pay attention to the instructions carefully. Mash Daddy threw the knife fine.
carefully. Okay. This is the thing. It's a
Yeah.
game, bro. Like, if I don't have to, like, you know, do-si-do, spin around, make sure I'm standing on one foot to be able to throw my knife, I just want to go like this and have it work. You know what I mean? And that's
Well,
probably,
here's the thing. You had that issue. I had that issue. I remember PD having that issue. He's in the chat. He can chime in if he wants to. But I remember him saying he had the same issue. I don't remember there being specific, like detailed instructions on how to throw a knife. Maybe it was in there the last time we played and I missed it. Uh, but any other game I've ever threw a knife in, you just throw the knife. So, you
yeah.
know, my bad if I missed out on that. But hopefully that won't be an issue this time, because I do think this game looks amazing. I don't think it's too much game for me. It might be too much for me to finish quickly, but I don't think it's like some crazy survival game. Like, it's just going to be a bunch of mundane tasks that make me nope out. So I want to play it. I want it to work, and I'm confident that it will. These guys have put a lot of work into it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wolvie says it's the fields of invisible death all over the place that gets me. You can scan for it, but if you're not paying attention, it can all go to hell real quick. Like, that's what's so cool about it, man. The enemies in this game are unlike any other enemies in any other game I've ever played. Like, this is legit weird. It has a full force weird factor to it, and I love that. I love that in the game. We constantly look for original ideas and original worlds to visit, and this has that in spades.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can eat your food from your can with a knife. Like, who doesn't want to do that, even in real life? So,
Right. Right. Exactly. But I mean, you go into these games, and you know, so many games claim dystopian, you know, future. Very few of them actually deliver a realistic portrayal of what a dystopian future might look like. And if you're going for, you know, sci-fi, fantasticism, uh, then you really need to deliver on that, right? And this game does both. It gives you that realistic, dystopian feel, but it also, uh, it's a very ambitious sci-fi story that they're telling, with maps and enemies to fit the genre.
God, now you make me want to go play it right now, Wes. Damn it. I don't have time to play this game. I need to get into it. Looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. We need to make time for this one. It's certainly on the short list for Tuesday nights. Although I think I'm going to finish up The Room this Tuesday.
What do you think, dude? Good, right? Oh my God, I love that game.
Yeah, man. It was. I like the first level better than the second one. The second one was a bit repetitive, but certainly a cool game to say the least.
Yeah. Well, people on the Quest Store say it's the best escape the room game in VR. I mean, rave reviews, right? So
yeah, the second level did a lot of the same things though, over and over again. Miniaturizing yourself to go inside locks and work, you know, work the lock puzzle. The first one though was with the sarcophagus and all that stuff going on. I really enjoyed that.
that was just cool. I just think it's really cool.
Yep. Anyway, Into the Radius 2.0 live now. Again, so many features. I mean, they already had DLSS and all that shit worked out before this update. I can only imagine what this game looks and runs like now. I'm sure we'll know soon enough, though, and we'll be sure to report back to you here when we do.
Absolutely.
Currently under development by Void Room, T for God is a VR adventure that uses procedural generation to allow players infinite movement within their own space. The game is designed to allow users to customize their own experience, crossing genre lines to allow the game to be an intense shooter, a roguelike explorer, or merely a relaxing trek. The game's synopsis reads: In the distant future, humankind has been united, ruled by God Emperor. Endowed with advanced technology, we reached the stars, colonized new worlds, and went on to endless crusades against myriads of civilizations. Personal tragedies tend to be meaningless against the time. But once in a while, one person may start a fire that can change the fate of the whole universe. A man who lost his family, who holds God Emperor accountable for their death, seeking answers and vengeance, embarks onto his last journey to the place no human has ever left alive, where God Emperor is believed to reside. For the past few years, T for God has existed as an in progress build on itch.io, where you could grab the game for both PC and Oculus Quest via sideloading. But the game's made significant strides as of late, with an official demo launching in early October. The Steam VR version is now expected to launch late next year. Roots, this is a game I've been aware of for a while. It's been on SideQuest pretty much since the inception of SideQuest. But it always looked a little too early in development for me. This recent footage, after some of the updates that it's gotten, this looks something a lot closer to the type of game that I might enjoy. And having come off of such a positive experience with Eye of the Temple recently, my interest is certainly piqued for what this game might have to offer.
Yeah, this is coming out end of next year, you said. So they're still in development. I guarantee that Eye of the Temple will, at least in some form, if they play it, give them some inspiration in some ways of what they're doing. This seems like even more like scale wise. I mean, you got enemies, you got guns, you got everything that you want out of a game, but now you're going to be able to do what Thomas McNostril says. He tells his wife all the time he needs infinite movement within his own space. And now you're going to have it, Thomas. You're going to be able to walk around your room, and you're going to T forgot it and shoot shit. And it just looks really cool. I think it's a good concept. And I never tried the side quest thing. I might have to check. You know, I haven't really used side quest. I was one of those people that was like, I just roll my eyes at most of it because I have everything else. So many options of everything else. Unless it's something special, there's what's the point, right? I don't know.
Well, the cool thing about this is, I mean, it does what Eye of the Temple does, or it claims to do what Eye of the Temple does, but it's also claiming so much more. I mean, this obviously a different genre by far than Eye of the Temple, but in addition to the innovative room scale mechanics, it also is claiming a very customizable campaign, which can be as intense as you want it to be, or as light as a walking simulator. Uh, but I think most importantly of all, this thing seems to have a pretty cool fleshed out story to kind of push you through it and make you want to play through it, whether you're doing the walking sim, the roguelike exploration, or the intense shooter. Uh, I mean, who knows? Even that could even lead to
Breaking stuff.
a good variety of or a good replayability, right? I mean, if you played as a roguelike exploration game the first time and then you want to go back in it and play it as a shooter, I mean, if it's worked out as well as they claim, or they claim that it's going to, this game could be one that you end up playing through more than once.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you just want to go around in an experience and walk around, right? In VR. What I think is kind of interesting is it says, you know, when we heard about Eye of the Temple and they were specific, they didn't. I mean, I guess it adapts to your space at over 6x6, right? I wonder if this is going to be the same minimum space, or if how is it going to adapt? Because it makes it sound like it's going to even do more to where like maybe it's 3x3 and it'll make it adapt where you can move around in that space. And I am absolutely not saying that's the case because more than likely you're probably going to need 6x6 or more. You would think,
Yeah, I think
right?
probably more. Probably more with this type of gameplay style. You probably need. Now, I'm sure that if you want to turn the gameplay mechanics down to the calm setting, you might be able to get away with a smaller space. But if you're fighting in an intense shooter type campaign, you're probably going to need more space. Now, with that said, one of the things I think I remember reading when I was reading up on this thing is that by the time the Steam VR version launches, they plan to incorporate stick locomotion so that if people want to play it who can't walk, they can still play the game. You know, which is cool. Um, but I'm intrigued, man. You know, I don't have a lot to say on it. Obviously, this game's still early in development. But for the first time after watching this game for about a year and a half, I'm actually intrigued with it. I think it looks cool, and I hope that they are able to accomplish what they set out to with it.
Absolutely. Wolveraza doing a $3 donation says, really liking the effort given. Thank you guys for all you do. We appreciate you as well. Wolvie and Gamer Chick coming in here. What's up, Gamer Chick? It's been a while. We always love when you come in or when you're coming into the show, and we're good to see you. We're glad to see you.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Tiffany. Hope you like the new digs, right? Like it's I don't think she's been around very much since we kind of remade the channel. So take a look around, get comfortable. This is our new home for the next year or two. So I hope you like it. Wolvie, thank you for the $3 support. You know, you like the effort given. Well, it's because of people like you that we're able to do a lot of this stuff. So really appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely. Mepper says the space and the constant turning are the reasons I haven't tried it on PC VR. Because of the see, that's a good point. I mean, I guess because of the cable, right? That's one of the good things about AirLink or any wireless VR is something like this. Again, you're going to want to be able to whip around and shoot stuff. So
yeah, that is true. And I experienced the same thing the other day playing Swarm while I was tethered, so I get it. Like some games are just made for wireless VR, right?
Swarm is the worst because it just you can still do it. You know that it's gimping you. It's like taking away one of your guns, and you're like, I can still kill stuff, but your score is going to suck so much worse. And that's how I felt when I tried to use the cable on Swarm. I just think it needs to be wireless.
Let's hope they get that multiplayer out this year, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you nailed it. You know, it is one of the best games in VR on the Quest 2 this year. And, you know, you forget because you don't go back in, but it's just so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good. I want it to be at the forefront of the Game of the Year discussion for Oculus Quest. It needs to get that multiplayer out ASAP, right? It needs to get it out ASAP because I feel like that's going to knock it up a few notches if it does.
Yeah, absolutely. And Simplex coming through with 10 Poland dollars. I don't know, PLN. I stayed till 2:30 a.m. for you. Good night. We appreciate you, Simplex. You keep us on the straight and narrow, man. No fake news here. He's gonna call us on it, and we'll correct it quick.
So thank you, Simplex, for staying up with us. We very much appreciate it. And you're not going to miss out on much because that's going to wrap up our featured stories for the week and move us into the week's reminders. And we do have some stuff out this week, don't we, Ruuts?
Yeah, some good stuff coming out.
Absolutely.
Something big is happening inside Gestapo headquarters, and we don't know what it is.
Fine!
Take cover!
Find your section!
This is a deep undercover mission.
Feind setzt sich in Bewegung!
Try to avoid drawing attention to yourselves. We all know it's going to be a tough job ahead. But it's good for us to be together.
Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, coming to us from Respawn Entertainment in association with Oculus Studios, exclusively for Oculus Quest 2. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Obviously, it's
Hmm.
coming to Oculus Rift as well, exclusive to Oculus. Uh, well, I mean, this it's not. See, Simplex. As soon as Simplex starts talking about me not fucking up, I fuck up immediately. This game is coming exclusively to Oculus tomorrow. It's already on Steam VR. Um, it's coming on November the 15th for $40, getting a $20 price cut. Uh, Cross buy is enabled for this one.
Mm.
So if you buy it for $40 on the Quest, you'll get the Oculus Rift version as well. Roots, a lot of people saying a lot of things about reading into the fact that After the Fall is not showing us any Quest 2 footage. Not the case here. Medal of Honor is showing us plenty of Quest 2 footage, and it looks pretty damn good, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest thing people can take away from the $40 price, the $20 drop, because that's another thing I've been hearing is it's not as good. That's why they're charging less, whatever. Um, we said it when it came out. It shouldn't have been $60. It was more of a $40 game even then, right? Like I just think that they realized, and they're going on the quest. I think they're going on a different model. They're more selling more. It's very palpable. Even for me, I'm thinking, well, shit. I don't own this game. Do I pick it up? On the Quest 2, and then I've got it for the Rift version as well. And so I
Yeah,
might just do
I
that.
think that's what you do, especially if they don't adjust the price on Steam, which I'm sure they will. But you don't know, you never know. Big Show coming through with $5 tip says, "Cannot wait for this on Quest 2. Everyone said it can't be done. This is my favorite VR game." And a lot of people don't realize how much this game improves because uh, first impressions are a strong thing and they linger, especially in the world of Steam. Those reviews, those initial negative reviews are a hard thing to overcome, but they worked to to mitigate the flaws that people found with this game and make it something that a little more akin to what people were expecting for it pre-launch. Uh, Big Show's not the only one who says things like this. This is a great game, and what I said at the top of the episode is absolutely true. If they can bring this to Oculus Quest 2, they can bring anything to Oculus Quest 2, and that's why this is so exciting.
Dark Angel wants to know if this is coming out tomorrow or Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday, the 17th, correct? I thought that's what I had read, but maybe I'm wrong.
The article I took this from says the 15th,
Oh,
and
it is tomorrow then. Okay, so
yeah,
one game was coming out tomorrow and the other was coming out on Wednesday. The next game is coming out on Wednesday. So yes, this is
yeah,
coming out tomorrow.
yeah. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is supposedly out tomorrow, so yeah, good times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Big Show says the reviews on Oculus Store was good. So I think it's going to be good for the Quest as well. For whatever reason, I guess it's more. I don't know what is the reason, Wes. People are really bad about reviews in VR compared to other flat gaming, but the Quest, like people come out in droves. You'll see a game that just came out, and there'll be like 5,000 people now that are raving about it, and it's so crazy to see because just a year or two ago there was no reviews on almost everything. I mean, you had some, but nothing like that. It was very rare to have something get hit so quick with reviews, right? So,
Right. And something we mentioned last week is the negative reviews early on Steam kind of put the kibosh on the multiplayer mode in this game. We could see that mode thrive on Oculus Quest, and
right.
even though it isn't crossplay with Steam VR, and it's not going to mean much to the people who bought it over there, it still could be kind of a big thing on Oculus Quest.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, Big Show was the beginning. It was the way that that when it released, there was a lot of problems that have been ironed out now. Techno Glitch wants to know, would you buy it now, even though it's been out a year? Well, see, that's my problem. When I played it, it was early, and I had that bad taste in my mouth. I wasn't going to go out and spend $60 for this game. $40 sounds a lot more palpable, especially since I can play it on the Quest 2 and the PC. And what Wes just said is the third cherry that may or may not be there. We have no idea. We won't know for probably almost a week. The multiplayer. Maybe the multiplayer is amazing. These maps are really cool. It just, for whatever reason, it was so janky when it first came out, and I really hope to God they fixed it. Whatever was the problem in the PvP, so their release tomorrow is smooth, and everybody goes in there and this is like their favorite game to go shoot each other in, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Going to be an interesting game of the year discussion, especially when it gets down to individual platforms. Um, but yeah, people asking whether or not we're going to buy this, even though it's going to be going to have been out for a year. Uh, Thanks to the support of people like Big Show and Simplex and Wolveraza. Thankfully, you guys are going to buy it for us. We're going to have this in our show account, all thanks to your support. And we're going to be able to cover it and tell you guys if it sucks, tell you if it doesn't suck. Um, Thank you again for all the support.
yeah, absolutely.
Scion says no Quest versus PC VR multiplayer. I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
That kind of sucks. I mean, it would be nice if they did, and maybe they did down the road, but
Maybe they will down the road, right?
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, out tomorrow, $40 on Oculus Quest/Rift.
Welcome back, Lord Arcanum Caster Stormscryer. The Stormcast Eternals posted in Dreadheim Fall.
Hail, Lord Arcanum!
If their souls do not return to Azir,
I will free all of you.
the Necroquake has upset the order of the mortal realms.
Sigmar's weird.
Reunite with your fellow Hammers of Sigmar.
At your service, Lord Arcanum.
Seek the lost souls of the anvils of the Heldenhammer. Bring order and deliver justice. In the name of Sigmar!
Never fear, PCVR players. You get new toys this week as well, as Warhammer Age of Sigmar Tempestfall drops on the 17th from our friends at Carbon Studios, exclusively, at least for now, on Steam VR. And Roots, I kind of think that the bottom line with this one's pretty clear. If you like the Wizards' Dark Times, then this game is going to be a pretty natural progression from that one. We saw progression from the Wizards to Dark Times, and we're going to see a continuation of that same progression from Dark Times into Tempestfall.
Yeah, absolutely. This looks amazing. And the interview, like I said last time, that Mash did, it was Dave Marsh, right?
No, this is Peter from
Peter.
Studio.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so the interview you did with Peter was really detailed in all the backstory and all the love that he put into this game. And I think that's what's going to make the difference is the lore, right?
Yeah, it's very similar in scope to Dark Times, but what this game is promising that Dark Times didn't have is a little bit of implementation of real world physics. Now, it's not going to be Boneworks or anything, so don't put too much stock into that. But the weapons are going to have a little bit of weight, and the magic system is going to be a little bit more intuitive.
Cool. Yeah, I can't wait. We just have to wait till Wednesday, right?
Well, they do. Yeah, so they have to wait till Wednesday to hear our thoughts on this game.
Absolutely.
As I'm sure we'll be touching on this one as well, in addition to the other one I already talked about and forgot.
Medal of Honor.
Well, Resist.
Resist.
We're
Oh, that's
talking
right.
about Resist.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Resist. We'll be talking about Tempestfall. We might even be talking about Medal of Honor if we have time to get to all three of them. But definitely the new releases will be hitting on this Wednesday.
Yeah, there's Tech's right, man. He says another game on the back burner. So many damn games to play. Holy moan, whatever. And which leads to what Dark earlier said, goodbye money, basically. Goodbye paycheck. November is just going to be taking all our money away.
Well, that's par for the course when it comes to the holiday season, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this wouldn't be a stream. Mr. Tasselhoff sliding in says that gun looks gun stock worthy. It would definitely be a bit more action oriented with guns and grenades and knives. I agree. It could definitely be a great gun for the Mr. Tass for sure.
I'm sure if we get into it that heavily, we'll be trying it out, and as we always do, we will keep you informed on just how well Mr. Tasselhoff's minigun stock system works with Medal of Honor.
Absolutely.
Anyway, PlayStation players out there, don't fret. We got new toys for you as well. So my sister Ashley coming through with the $10 support says, "My mom." Hey, you know who else is Ashley's mom?
My
Oh,
mom.
My mom.
Your mom. For real this time. You know what's cool about this, dude? I'm watching this trailer. I've watched it many times. The ending is so cool, dude. Like when it goes to that computer screen and it's like the doll's there and I just like it kind of gives you goosebumps, man. Like this game, it is one of the coolest games. There's a good reason why this is one of Mash's, if not Mash's favorite game of 2021. It has everything and it's not easy and the progression is so cool and super cool game.
Yeah, Yuki, the awesome VR roguelike bullet hell game from our friends at Aravora. Remind me if I ever talk to those people, and I'm sure I will sooner or later, to get the correct pronunciation of their studio, because everyone says it differently. But anyway, coming to PlayStation VR, yeah, Aravore. Coming to PlayStation VR on November 16th. So Monday, this one drops. And yeah, you said it, man. One of the year's top releases. Super fun, super colorful, not easy. And Roots, I was thinking actually this morning about this game. I think that this would be an awesome split stream game.
Yeah, Mash and I last night when we were playing Back for Blood, we had all sorts of good ideas. We're like, even you were saying Windlands 2 would have been a great idea. There's a lot of amazing games that would be very intriguing to watch play in split stream. This is one of them, right?
Right. And so, in case you guys have heard us bring up split stream a couple of times here and not know what it is, the changes with our channel. Obviously, you can see the cosmetic changes. The cosmetic changes are the minor updates to our channel. We're coming at you with all new concepts for content, and one of those was on full display last night in the form of split stream, which is where two of the three of our hosts play a game, and we do a side by side screen, moderated and commentated by the one that's not playing. Last night it was Roots. Roots was the producer last night, so Eric and I played to the top, each on our own individual screens, while Roots was down there front and center, talking to the chat, talking to us while we played. Split stream. It was a lot of fun, and I think Yuki would fit that bill quite well. Also, this past week on Strangers in the Night, if you caught it, you caught the very first real time review where we had two of our hosts remain on screen. Actually, we started with all three of us on screen reviewing the Captain Toonhead game. I then checked out from the discussion for a moment and donned my VR headset and live streamed the game in the background while we all three continued our review discussion, demonstrating the game in real time. Those are only two of many ideas that we have going forward that we're going to implement for original content on our channel. And you guys are going to absolutely love um, the on location series that we're getting ready to start recording, which we also detailed on last week's episode. So go back and check that out if you haven't already. Exciting times for us here, Roots.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been crazy. Things are definitely getting out of control. No, they're not out of control. They're totally in control. That's what's good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark Angel with the $5 support says redeemable for one jank free experience. Find me one that's jank free, and I'll give you $5, Dark Angel.
I'll tell you what, Dark, I'll settle just for getting to hang out with you in the concert again. That was really cool, man. You know what I mean? Like I love things like that because you get to hang out and get to know people on a different level, right? Than just
That was a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun.
We need to make that second run before they take the
Is it off?
free.
Is it still going?
It was last time I looked, but that's been like a week, 10 days ago or something like
Oh,
that.
God.
So
Yeah,
we
we
need to
talked.
get in there quickly.
Yeah, we need to. Somebody needs to. We post it in the Discord or something. We need to do it.
On location is going to flip your shit, people, says Eric, and I agree. I think people are going to definitely flip their shit, and we need to talk a little bit more about that off the air, as I do have some news to share. But thank you, Dark Angel, for the $5 support. Very cool of you to support us, and we're going to keep on building the channel up to what you all want it to be and what you've come to expect from us, which is original content, no cringe thumbnails, no clickbait, only original content here. No day one, level one gameplays. How about that? How about
Yeah.
that for a promised, Roots?
Yeah, or some kind of, like you said, the cheesy thumbnails. And like I just
Yeah.
said, Zuckerberg interview incoming on a different channel that's not ours.
We'll have to build up to that one, but we'll get there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Eric's our foot in the door, man. He's in a group and he's watching.
Room.
He's always watching.
Dark Angel says we got to get a time and lock Zim down for Streamverse as well. I think you'd be down for that one, your Roots.
Yeah, absolutely. GC says there was a concert with Roots and Dark Angel. Two of my favorite people. And you missed it. Yeah, it was amazing. It was, what was the group, right? We that's been in synth artists.
It was, yeah, it was you and I, Dark Angel, the wife, Eric was there. I mean, there was a few other people that came too. Was that Mepper or
I don't know, man. There was so many. It's been starting to fade. But I'll tell you what. But it was amazing. It was really cool.
Yeah, we had a bunch. I'm on the spot now on no sleep, and I can't remember everybody. That came,
You know what Dark told me, which I thought was really cool. She said that Zim Talk said that I think this is what you told me, Dark, that he would, if we win again, he would want to go, which I thought that was really cool, man. That's why I checking out his stream again recently because I've always liked watching him stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muse. That's what it was.
Yeah, Muse. Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap up what's out this week and bring us into our next reminder, which is the evolution of the old Wishlist segment. We're now calling it Wishlist Review because, as I explained last week, as important as it is to these studios that we wishlist their games, it's even more important to them that we review their games. Reviews are like gold to these studios and to these developers. So I have moved on from wishlisting everything every week to leaving a review. And you don't have to write a book, friends. You just have to leave a rating on these games, and it means the world, especially to some of these smaller developers with lesser known games. So we've got a pretty good list of stuff here that we can review, like an infinite list, honestly, of games that we own that we can review. I don't even remember what I did last week, Roots, to be honest.
I don't either.
But
But I know what I'm doing this week, and it was the one I was just raving about at the end of the show. Yuki.
Yuki, I think Yuki is a good choice, and I think I'm going to review Yuki as well. And if you all wouldn't mind taking a moment of your time with us, why don't we all go review Yuki right now and give it 5 stars?
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird. It's only got 9 rating. 9. It's 5 stars on. Pretty much 5 stars on Oculus Rift store. It's funny because I was like, I don't know. Do I not own it on that? I think I might be on the store account or the store thing.
I think that's what it is. I think I'm on the wrong account, so I'm going to go. Instead of taking the time to switch accounts, I'm going to go leave a review for In Death Unchained.
It's like I gotta change everything. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to swing right in here, and I am going to buy Yuki on the Quest, and then I'm gonna review it because I don't own it, and I need to own it, right?
I agree with that.
It was 155 ratings on the Quest, soon to be 156, but I gotta buy this first. It's gonna look weird too. Like, oh man, this game is amazing, and he's got 0 hours on it.
So there we go, just like that, 5 stars for In Death Unchained. Title line reads, "The very best archery in VR, period." The subject line reads, "It's a must own, do it." And it's just like that, another 5 stars for this amazing title. And I did not type one of those 12 words that was false. I believe everything that I put there. And
How do I leave a
one more for the
review?
good guys.
Yeah, it's not
You
giving.
just scroll down underneath the review section, and there's a thing that says write a review, and you click on that.
At the very bottom after everything? Like at the bottom?
Right at the top of the review part.
I didn't see it there.
It gives you the star rating, and then it has it broken down by each star. And then right under that, there's a thing that says write a review.
Maybe it's because I haven't played it yet, or I just
Maybe
bought it.
that's it.
I don't know. Yeah,
Anyway,
either way.
I'll show you off there how to write a review, and we'll do it next time.
It's weird.
Anyway, thank you to all of you out there who took the time to join us in our support of these awesome studios. And guys, be thinking about this so that next week when we come back, you're going to know what you want to review. And we're going to do it every week, just like we've done wish lists for over a year now. We're going to be doing the wish list review.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eric is screaming Yuki. I just noticed. I agree. Yuki. I own it now, Eric. I can now play it in. Actually, I guess it is cross-buy, right?
Dude, we got Yuki. We got individual keys for Yuki now that I think about it. I don't know why you would have to buy it. Like, I remember now, we got keys for Yuki.
I never got it because I just went to there and I had no, it wasn't available.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Offline. I don't know. It's probably in your review apps or something like that.
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe I should do a refund now. Maybe I'll gift it to somebody. Refund it and gift it.
Hey.
So.
Maybe we'll figure it out offline. Anyway, thanks to everyone who participated with that. Again, super cool of you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you reviewed or wishlisted.
Yeah.
All right, and that brings us to our last reminder this week and every week, and that is how you can do your part to support us, our channel, and our community. If you're new, course, the easiest thing you could do is to click the things. Click the subscribe button, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, and that is the best thing that you can do to help us grow the quickest. Now, of course, if you've been around for a long time and you want to do a little something extra, if you like all the changes that we're making around here, well, it's on your dime, and you can contribute to that by supporting us on Patreon. All we ask is $3 per month. We'll give you access to our weekly show notes, which are pretty awesome this week, by the way. It'll give you access to exclusive content. It'll give you access to insider updates. All this for less than $1 a week. And as you can see, it goes to a good cause, making our content better for you. So you get your money back. You get your money back. So, I mean, I can't think of a better sales pitch than that. Virtual Strangers Patreon, link in the description down below. Thank you to all of those who support that way and the other various ways. We really appreciate it. And if you don't have the money, that's cool too. Being here is enough. And what even would mean more is if you could share. You'll find links to all of our brand new social media accounts that I just started this past week. There's a new Virtual Strangers Twitter, new Virtual Strangers Instagram, new Virtual Strangers Facebook. We need to get those out there, and I can't do that. That's up to you guys. Follow all the socials, share them with your friends, share the show with your friends, and let's get our numbers up there. The higher our number gets, the more influence that we hold and the better content that we can provide you going forward. And as Roots is showing there, of course, there's our home. It's the place where we live. It's the place where we talk VR, where we talk life. Virtual Strangers Discord. Uh, Simply put, we're on there 24/7. One of us is always on there talking to people. Even if it seems like a relatively quiet day, we're always lurking. We're always reading. We're always participating from behind the scenes in your conversations, even when we don't manifest ourselves. So, yeah, it's a great community. You're all welcome to join. There's an invitation in the description down below. Virtual Strangers Discord, Mikasa, Zukasa. We'll see you there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll add one more reason to get Patreon. Or I guess if you want to take part in the decision making for the Game of the Year discussion, that will be taking place soon. And like we did last time, patrons are invited to come in and you get a vote in the for before the show on who wins which category. So
to be clear, everyone gets a vote. The patrons' votes get a little more weight because they get to sit in on that meeting where we decide the winners. And there is a very real debate that goes on when we decide who are going to win from the list of nominees. So to be clear, the community has input on the categories that we give awards for. The community has all the input on the nominees, or most of it anyway, that we nominate for these. And then the community has input on who wins. The patrons, they get to take part in the debate where we decide who wins. So that's a big plus of being a patron is you get to sit in on that meeting. It always has been in big screen before. We might do something different this year. We don't know yet. Maybe we'll do it from the After the Fall lobby. Who knows?
yeah.
But anyway, lots of cool benefits that come with being a patron. And again, we're going to very soon figure out a system to include the donations from outside Patreon to get some of the benefits as well. So we appreciate anyone who donates their hard-earned money to us and helping us grow.
Absolutely. Ashley says she's locked out of her Discord at the moment. I don't know what that means.
She probably put their own password in. Yeah. 3 times and you're out, bro.
Oh, man.
Hit the link. Hit the link. They'll send you a reset link and you should be able to get back in there.
Yep.
Anyway, with that all said, friends, I would like to thank you all once again for watching. For my friend Roots here, I'm Wes. We'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Bye now.